And there... What the fuck is that? Okay. That's a puppet.
Something with a creaking wooden smile.
Oh, sorry. Wow, I was not prepared for that image.
Yeah, that's some nightmare fuel right there. That's some good shit. Thank you,
Yeah.
Natsu.
Thank you, Nasu.
Takeuchi. Or no, not Takeuchi. Whoever did the general art on this. Although I guess maybe Takeuchi came up with the designs.
Something that should not have been there in this maze. Something with a creaking wooden
Koyama.
smile. Koyama.
Thank you, Koyama.
It was an ominous, creepy, uncanny figure of a girl. I thought I saw red hair earlier. That's why I thought it was Toko. And it would have been if I were just a little less certain of it. Puppets? Right, we know. Okay.
Puppet?
An unusual figure with 2 arms and 2 legs stood silently in the darkness. If only for a moment, its beauty, which was even apparent from afar, dulled the insanity of the current situation. Oh my god, I jumped out of my chair a little.
Yeah.
Extend, extend, extend. The utterly unknown threat made Aoko freeze on the spot. Avoiding it didn't even occur to her. Humans possess intelligence and knowledge, but when confronted with the unknown, they fail to process what to do, and... Aoko!
Hold on, just have to turn off my my heater here because it would be too much.
Wow, you went 100% on that.
And that was like 80.
I could hear you from up here. Wow. I got chills, if that's anything.
That was nothing compared to, like, the damage that Shiro screams would deal to me.
It's partially because they're so frequent. Aoko, no.
I know.
Aoko, no.
You thought he was the one who was gonna die in this scene.
No! No, there's no way. That's actually impossible. There's no way. The magical attack crossed the 30-foot gap in an instant. The arm of the girl, who had appeared at the rear of the corridor, was slender and quick. It extended to a near impossible length, striking Aoko from behind. Oh no! Aoko crashed into the wall. Oh, that is not the instrumentation I want to hear right now. Aoko crashed into the wall as she fought back in an anguished whimper. The attacker retracted her arm. Oh, that animation, that fucking animation. Aosuki! Sojiro sprang to his feet. He darted to her side and used all the strength he could muster to get her to her feet. He could not believe how late she was. In Sojiro's mind, Aoko was an extraordinary individual. He'd expected that if he were to ever touch her, it would be apparent she was far stronger than he is. But in reality, she felt about as heavy as you would expect a 100-pound girl to feel. Meanwhile, that thing continued to reel in its arm, as if it were some sort of mechanism. Those mechanical clicks are so unsettling. Having extended more than 30 feet from the elbow joint, it clanked as it returned to its previous shape and size. Are you You okay?
やめてよ。わからないわ。なんでそんな顔できるの？
For real? How can you even look at me like that right now?
Aoko tore her hand away from Sojiro's. Suddenly, she felt her knees buckle under her, but Sojiro caught her before she could hit the ground and helped her to her
無理する
feet.
な。で、あいつは知り合いか？
Don't push yourself too hard. Don't push yourself too hard. So, do you know this thing? He looked back at the eerie shadow 30 feet away as it finished retracting its arm.
そうね。似たようなやつとは命をせめぎ合ったのかよ。
Yeah. Fought one of its friends a while back.
Aoko grabbed her lower back as she answered. Aoko. A searing pain shot through her.
痛いっ
Did
ちゃ
something
痛
to
いけ
hurt
ど
it.
打撲だけ。
It's just a bruise. How can it hurt this much?
It's magic.
あれだけ絶好の奇襲をしておいて。それともこの距離じゃ当たっても致命傷にならない。
It could have killed me. Catching me off guard like that. Or maybe it can't kill from that distance.
Like, the context of One Piece makes it less horrifying, but being able to stretch like that and just instantly close that gap is terrifying.
Yeah.
あるわけないか。何か別の意味があると見るべきね。
No, that can't be it. Must be missing something here.
Aoko tried to steady her breathing as she assessed the damage done to her back. The pain was quick to fade, and her breathing returned to normal. For the time being, her motor functions were no longer hindered, which meant the real damage was elsewhere. Did it damage her magic circuits?
青崎、あれ。
I was thinking you were...
分かってるわ。黙ってて。
I know. Just shut up already.
Blue light glowed across the room. The magical energy generated by her breathing was accumulating in her right arm. If magical energy was the formula, or was the fuel, the formula was the igniter. Is it me, or does it look smaller this time? Like some of it's missing?
It's not lit up.
For Aoko.
And yeah, it is actually smaller, but I
'Cause
don't
it-
know if it's missing. I think it's just
Like, disabled or something?
dark currently. Because it's not active, you know?
For Aoko, this was little more than a reenactment of two evenings ago. Next time the puppet extended its arm, Aoko would fire a magic bullet as fast as she could. A battle at approximately 30 feet. As long as Aoko could secure a 2-second window, she could create a counterattack to end their duel. It made its move. With its head tilted down, there was no expression to be seen. And in the darkness, its apparent age was impossible to make out. To the two humans, the puppet was not dissimilar to a faceless ghost. Its left arm slowly came up with a grinding sound. Its movements were dull, as if the joints were rusty. Its right arm, which had been extended earlier, hung at its side. Through the puppet's mouth, although the puppet's mouth was hidden by its long locks, the sense was that it was smiling.
さっきと用途が違う。あれが本命。
It's changing up. It's attacking from the left.
しずきくん、どいて。
Move it, Shizuki!
Is it going after Shizuki?
Chris, move it, Shizuki!
She threw herself into Sojiro and extended her hand. Its arm extended at the very moment. The timing was impeccable. In a single second, Aoko's magic bullet scored a direct hit on the puppet's arm, reversing its trajectory and sending it crashing into the puppet's body with a violent explosion. Or at least... Oh, there's that Nasu reversal right there. Oh god.
Oh.
Or at least that's what would have happened had the magic formula been invoked. Yep, that was right. Oh no! Oh god, no!
Huh? Huh?
She barely avoided being struck once again. When her magecraft failed her, intuition took over, and she managed to get away.
やられた。最初のはそういうことか。
She got me. She knew what I was going to do.
She clenched her teeth in frustration, her thoughts racing a mile a minute. A mile a minute. Fight or flight? It only had one arm left, which would take time to retract. This was the best shot Aoko had at defeating it. If she could evade the right arm just a fraction, she could get close enough to... What? She's here too!
In slumber I live, in dirt I rot alone. Today's the day I died and was born. I come to you. Vivon somnoso.
A crackle echoed through the corridor. The poetic murmurs contained enough magical energy for a mage to perceive. The verse itself was Latin, but it contained hints of the language of curses. Gander. That's what Gander means.
You didn't remember that?
I didn't know it was like the literal language of curses. I forgot that element.
It's...
Originally.
I can hear you getting excited.
Originally, they were words meant to curse a hated adversary. However, this is so fucking cool and terrifying at the same time.
My life is immortal. Now my future was destroyed. I am a ghost. The definition of life is ethereal. I hate you. I love you. Let us meet in a dream.
You know what that silhouette is reminding me of? A little bit?
Let us meet in a dream. There we go. What?
The shadow, just lately. I think it's just the way that it's like...
And the music.
Yeah. Oh, I'm shaking. Cool. The puppet was directing the words at itself. Curses beget curses. The victim calls down a curse on the assailant, creating a vicious cycle of negativity. The incantation was meant to do just that. However, this was ultimately a one-puppet show. An unprecedented source of power, akin to auto-intoxication. As unbelievable as it seemed, the cycle of curses had been turned into a perpetual motion device. Wait, it powers itself by cursing
You've gotta
itself?
be kidding me. Isn't this overkill? You've gotta be kidding me. Isn't this overkill? There we go.
Nasu's magic system is so fucking cool. That's so cool. That's incredible. This is... I'm sorry to any other magic system, this is the best one by far and away, and the most interesting
No,
one.
easily. What are you talking about?
It's not even close, either. This is just...
Like, in terms of any, like, power system, the only thing that's, like, even approaching it would just be Nin. But, like...
I know, Toko is amazing. She's so cool. And the way her magic works is so interesting. It's so fucked up. It's so fucked up in the best way.
in the most existential way possible.
No one writes horror like Nasu. Because, like, it's super easy to scare me, you know? But it's really hard to scare me in a way that I vibe with.
Yeah.
In a way that I don't... Because if you just scare me or disturb me, I don't want to read it anymore. But the way Nasu does it, I just can't help but keep going,
You get
know?
sucked in.
Because it still... Even though it's terrifying, it still feels like home in a way.
Huh.
I guess.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah. I love you. It's so good. Thank you for showing me Nasu verse in general. Thank you.
I love you too.
Alko abandoned the idea of digging her heels, and it was time to flee with all due haste.
何してんの？あんたも来る！
What do you think you're doing? Come on! What do you think you're doing? Come on!
She grabbed Sojiro's hand and ran as fast as she could, deeper into the realm of mirrors.
High-heeled puppet.
That sounds like something Toko would do.
Yeah.
The crackling voice continued its murmuring behind them.
Proximi mich negligentes ferunt. Omnes nos peccantes fuimus. Et omnes nos edem fuimus. Omnes nos peccatores sumus. Venit domum meum. Lut simile somnium.
I got a curse of my
Et
own.
pulvere simile quotidianum. Cor prego.
My neighbor... My neighbor neglected me. Not an innocent among us. We are all sinners. We are all sinners. Welcome to my house. May we die a muddy death. From dust to dust. Gouge out my heart.
By the way, your narration here is so good. I love you. On the music too, yeah.
Te judico.
Death be upon you.
You okay?
Yeah, no, that was great.
Okay.
Just the eyes.
Yeah.
These are the kinds of jump scares I love, you know? Toko is terrifying. Aoko fought against the pain in her back as she ran through the mirrored corridor. She dragged Sojiro by the hand.
Aozaki.
Oh no, wait. Oh, that's Aoko's foot. Never mind.
I was like,
I'm
wait,
done.
isn't that Aoko's? So I guess I'll just trust you because I'm wrong about everything. I love you.
I love you too. See, I can be wrong too.
Aosaki, are you okay?
別に背骨が痺れてる程度よ。内臓は平気
I
だし。
think it fucked up her
出血もないみ
magic.
たい。
I think it's pretty explicitly what it did.
Yeah.
My spine is numb, but it could be worse. My internal organs seem fine. I don't think I'm bleeding internally.
She cursed inwardly at how much of a mess she felt, though. Metaphysical wounds are always like the scariest because you can't see them. You can't tell
Yeah.
what the damage is. You could just go into a doctor and they wouldn't see anything wrong.
I mean, like depends on the type of doctor. I'm just saying, like, if we're talking a world of mages, right?
That's
like,
true. That's probably association doctors or whatever.
Spiritual surgeons.
But then they'd be like,
You're
okay, but who's this guy with
going
you?
to die.
Who's this guy that brought you in? Oh, not a mage? Okay, we just need to bring you over to this room here and,
Don't worry, we'll begin the surgery to remove this pest.
Kirei!
Pulls out
I
one of
forgot.
his fucking AKs.
I forgot that he does that. I really hope Kirei
You also
isn't in the
forgot
story all of a sudden.
You also forgot that he had, or not AKs, what, Uzis? I think he had Uzis.
He had guns.
Yeah,
Unlike
in his
Sojiro.
trunk, remember?
Unlike Sojiro, Aoko did not run into any transparent walls. Thanks to not superior sight, but
Wait!
rather preparation. Oh my
He
god!
doesn't know what mirrors are? I just realized that. I thought it was just flowery language, but I
He
just realized he doesn't know what
wouldn't.
mirrors are, does he?
He wouldn't! That's right! Also, just
Truly
the
a
dedication
kitten
from Aoko there. That's incredible. Because it was talked about how so many people needed to be, like, rescued from this maze, and she learned it.
Yeah, that, like,
She
even,
memorized it.
oh,
He did say mirror.
Okay.
Thanks
I
to not
wasn't
superior sight,
actually gonna be mad, but it would have been funny.
but rather preparation. She'd hammered the layout of the building into her memory.
平気ってわかるのか
You're really okay? How can you tell?
そりゃ自分の体だもの。身体管理は基礎中の基礎よ。
Yeah.
Because it's my body. One of the first things a mage learns is how to keep track of your body.
Aoko's matter-of-fact answer contrasted with Sojiro's nervous questioning. The corridor grew shorter with each and every left turn. At first, they were able to advance in a straight line for about 100 feet at a time. But by now, they were forced to turn a corner every 50 feet or so.
あいつはあの夜の
Is that the one from the other night?
多分ね。同じタイプだと思う。貴重なオートマタを惜しげもなく使い捨てるなんて。よっぽどお金持ちなんだろうけど。
Tokozaki.
Probably the same pattern, at least. Whoever's behind it must be pretty wealthy to be throwing a valuable automata around like it's a toy.
I mean, if you're good at gambling. Sojiro furrowed his brow. He was grateful that she was answering his questions, but baffled by the strange words she was using.
青崎ストップもう随分走ったぞ
Hold up, Aosaki. We've been running for a long time.
あいつは曲がり角一つ分向こうだ少し休もう
We're a good corner ahead of it. We can afford to rest for a moment. His words suggested that he was still concerned about her injuries. Aoko shook her head in irritation.
あの距離を狙ってくる相手に通路一つ分のリードは無意味よ。せめて二つ分に行くまで走るの。
Not enough against something with that kind of range. We need to keep running until we're 2 or 3 turns clear at least.
That puppet totally has a soul inside of it, doesn't it? God, that's so fucked up.
Of a sort? Because,
Sort.
like, remember that they are supposed to not be able to feel fear, but against, Alice, they felt
Alice.
fear.
Yeah. Sojiro nodded. With that matter settled, he asked.
なんで俺を連れて行ってるんだ
Like, I'd be interested to learn more about it here. Why didn't you leave me behind? There's the question.
逃げられたくないからじゃない、バカ。
Why do you think? So
you couldn't get away, idiot.
I love that
What do you
face.
think? So you couldn't get away, idiot.
Answering curtly, Aoko glared at her naive prey. The two of them headed for the next corner. Their legs began to slow as they rounded one more. Aoko grabbed her back as she tried to catch her breath. Though Aoko had insisted that she was fine, it appeared to have been bravado. Even the unusually clueless Sojiro felt the desperation they were in. It might be good to call a break here so I can just open my window and cool off a little bit.
Yes. Also, I could use a refill in my drink.
I very much want to finish this scene today, though.
Also, you should get a cold soda.
Yes, I will do that. Alright, well, want to be back in 10? Or 5?
I guess.
I think we can do 5, right?
I can do 5, yeah.
Alright, let's do 5. Hi, we're back.
We
Oh.
are.
Huh?
Oh, I couldn't see for a second properly because of the darkness there, and my brain filled in the details as like Kid without a nose.
What? Where? What?
For Sojiro there.
I'm struggling to see how you came to that conclusion.
Squint. See the like little bit of white on his collar and everywhere else is black. Almost looks like pre-specimens. And his expression.
Yeah, maybe
And
a
the
little
hair.
bit. That's. I don't see it as much.
Yeah. It's
Especially
okay.
since those two characters are very different vibes.
Extremely different. The most different, one might even say.
But yeah, let's get back to it.
Yeah.
And yeah, this music is just... It's perfect. I feel like I somehow managed... Like my starting theme, I use similar instrumentation.
Yep.
He stood behind Aoko, with his arms folded. While they had a moment, he tried to make sense of everything. First, Aoko had nearly killed him. Yeah, poor Sojiro right now. Like, there's gotta be so much running through his mind. Like,
It's like, what the fuck is even going on?
the class president tried to kill him, and then this puppet just came out of nowhere, extended its arms, and, like, started singing curses to itself. And also just someone that he saw as, like, unstoppable, just, like, in a position of weakness.
Yeah.
First, Aoko had nearly killed him. Though he was saved at the last possible second, it was by the strange, stretchy woman Aoko had burned to ashes 2 nights prior. He could barely make it out that night, but he considered it a her because it looked female. The woman's attack wounded Aoko's back and forced her to flee. Aoko had taken Sojiro with her, claiming that the reason she did so was to prevent her prey from escaping. In other words,
青崎はまだ諦めてないんだな。
I love his face. I fucking love his face.
He's like, hang on. Damn it, we're still doing this, aren't we?
You haven't given up.
We have
you,
to.
Aozuki? Have you, Aozuki? Have you,
当たり前よ
Aozuki?
あんなやつ仮に2体と半分始末してもあんた用の余力は残せるわ
Of course not. Even if I had to face 2 of those things, I'd still have plenty left to take care of the likes of you.
Her tone was sharp, but even Sojiro could see that she was struggling to stay confident. The damage to her body was too much to afford her any optimism.
Wow.
Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Stop it.
Well, I'm not doing anything right now either.
Huh?
I'm not doing anything right now either if nothing happened.
Still, the fury in her eyes refused to accept her circumstances.
中がところどころショートしてるあの右腕は回路を混戦させるジャミングってわけね
My magic circuits are shorting out like crazy. Which means that right arm of hers must be jamming my spells.
So cool. Though the proper response would have been for her to tremble in fear, she did nothing but shake her fists in anger. The disruption of formulae was only supposed to work on absolute beginners. If it had been her roommate, the arm would have been repelled the instant that it hit her, and the attacker's circuit burned out, rather than her own. Yeah, that's another thing about Aoko, right? Like, she just got into this life. Even though she inherited an immense amount of, like, magical energy, she hasn't learned to control and use it yet, right?
Well, an immense, like, actually, that's...
Like, I don't even know if it's that much, or just, like, the way her magic is described as power, right? Like a jet engine.
Yeah, but, like, the thing that she inherits is the crest, right? Which is just basically a spell book.
I guess she just has a lot of potential, then?
Yeah, her, that whole thing is just her own shit, you know?
That's actually a question. I don't know if it's been answered. Like, is potential something you're born with to a degree?
Yes.
Yeah. Because magical circuits are. Yeah, Shiro's just. What Shiro did to get magical circuits was insane. Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like learning how to use them. And the thing is, like, most mages are trained from, like, really young age, and she's just dumped into it now, right?
Yep.
She's still new. She's still a new mage. Attempting to establish a link to the magic circuits of another mage was like presenting your heart on a silver platter. It would be of no use in a battle against a superior mage. And yet, her adversary had been designed to do just that.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh, she only has 30 shots. Okay.
And yeah.
I guess what made me think that she had a lot was just how intense her circuits are. Because, like, Shiro's are just, like, some circuit lines. Hers are just, like, a spiral of energy. And that jet sound in the back.
Hmm?
Oh, yeah.
No, that's the water in our house.
What?
That jet sound? That's not in the game.
Oh, no. When it was,
Oh, okay, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
not now.
Sorry.
I was like, wait, what are you talking about? What? Are you okay?
I was like, wait, what are you talking about?
Did Toko get you too? Coupled with the attacks on areas of Misaki under Elgo's jurisdiction these last few weeks, it was a clear statement from the enemy, who, as of 2 days ago, had revealed itself as a fellow mage. In other words, the puppet saw Aoko as no threat at all.
敵ながら正確な判断だこと。
Playing right into their hands, huh?
While she was still angry, the whirlwind of emotions within her started to fade. Her face was that of a hunter far beyond her years.
なんか俺の時より真剣だな。
You seem to be more concerned about this thing than you were about hunting me.
まあね、あんたの時は遊びが入ってたし。
Well, naturally. I was only playing with you.
Soichiro was not sure whether to be happy or sad at that.
わからないことだらけで何を聞いていいかわからないんだけど、一つだけいいか。
This is all so confusing that I don't even know where to start, but can I ask just one question? Or just one question? Aoko didn't respond. Her eyes were focused on the darkness before them. The silence was heavy, and the darkness was like a noose closing in on him. But Sojiro continued in spite of her indifference. These lines are so
青
evocative.
崎はあいつも殺すのか？
Oh my god. Are you going to kill her too, Aosaki? A silence fell over them. It was as if the gloom was pulling them in. No response. Their breathing was the only sound echoing in the dim corridor. There stood Sojiro, forcing her to confront her sins, and the magician girl who continued to ignore him. They spent a few seconds, seemingly frozen in time.
そう。
Yes.
それがあなたのキーワードみたいね。
That's a sticking point for you, isn't it?
Aoko whispered in a lifeless tone. Her sigh was tinged with both resignation and contempt.
何？
A sticky what?
独り言よ。忘れて。
Nothing. Forget it.
それと、言っとくけど、あいつは人間じゃないわ。
But just so
doesn't
you
know
know, the thing that's following us isn't human.
信じられないだろうけど、自分の意志で動く人形なの。この前のも、今のやつもね。
You might not believe this, but it's a puppet that can move of its own will. Just like the one from the other night.
Sojiro nodded as he processed the information. Not only did he not doubt her story, but he seemed to have accepted it at the face value.
なんか落ち着いてるわね、あなた。
You're awfully calm.
まさかもう何が何だかわからないからあまり考えないことにしてるだけだ。
No way. I have no idea what's going on, so I'm just trying not to think too hard about it.
ただ人形に関しては別にどうということはない。
The part about it being a puppet isn't too surprising to me, though.
もしかして他でも自動人形を見たことあるとか？
What? Are you saying you've seen one before? Are you saying you've seen one before?
都会の人形ってああいうものじゃないのか？
Sojiro? 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 Wait! No way! Did he really? No! I love him! She could have, and he wouldn't have said anything!
Well,
Also,
the
just
Mages
as-
Association would have heard about some guy
Yeah,
asking
that's true.
about, like, or talking about, like, actual magic stuff, and that would have been a problem.
But look at his face! Look at his face! What do you mean?
Most innocent mans in all of reality.
What do you mean? Aren't all puppets in the city like that? That was my face! That was my face when he said that! You could see the bottle! Okay.
I already said, what?
She barely stopped herself from falling to her knees. Yeah, no, that's the thing. It makes sense. It makes so much sense, doesn't it?
Yup.
If you've never seen a car before, what the fuck is that? Like, thing that's just moving on its own, making a loud roar, people getting in and out of it. What are those loud things in the sky that are like massive. What is this magic slab that just displays colorful images?
It's city stuff.
It, like, magic isn't that weird when you think about all these other things that we have, you know?
Yeah.
It's so it's so baffling, but it makes so much sense.
Yup.
The store mannequins are the same thing, right? Yeah. Of course. How could she have forgotten? She was dealing with a bona fide, natural-born moron. I love Mahoyo. I love Mahoyo so much.
Look at her shaking.
Just the... As a student who transferred from the isolation of the mountains like an endangered species, his utter lack of common sense rendered anything miraculous as mundane. Okay, I'm getting sick doing the bobbing. Yeah, it's right there. It's right there. If automobiles were moving hunks of metal, then moving puppets were nothing to write home about. Wait, that meant... to him, the incident from the other night hadn't been extraordinary at all. He literally just said it was a murder.
Yup.
Not a magical
A murder used with a flamethrower.
Yep.
Except I do still hold that, obviously, like, the Magus Association probably would have found out somehow and had a problem with it.
Because their whole, like, ideal is just no traces at all.
Actually, thinking about it, this is Japan. I don't think they would be paying too close attention.
Also, he's just that innocent, right?
I mean, of course, you know, Alice would be paying attention, but, like...
He might have even assumed that it was an everyday occurrence in the city. I
いっぺ
love
ん
this.
頭の中覗いてみたいっていうか、ほんとここまで来ると感心するわ。
I give up. You know, I'd really like to get a look inside your head someday. I honestly have no idea. Nope, that's. I honestly have no idea how you've made it this far in life.
調子が狂うのも当然だった。普通は私に襲われた時点でもっと違う反応をするはずなのに。
No wonder you're such a weirdo. Normally, people wouldn't react the way you did when I attacked you.
化け物とかお化けとかさ。でもあなたにとってはそういうこともあるで済まされてたわけなんだ。
I could have been a monster or a ghost. But for you, it was just another new fact of life.
Like, it's almost like he's... Because, like, if a child just grows up in, like, an area that has magic, it's just another normal thing. It's effectively
Yep.
that.
A child.
Like, it's just...
A kitten.
Yeah. It's incredible. Because when you're thrown into a new world, everything is feasible, you know? Everything is new
Yep.
equally.
なんかバカみたいね、私。
Starting to feel like the real moron here.
An alco cover. Her strained face returned to normal for a moment. It hit her. There had been another way to handle this without anyone getting hurt. But the damage had already been done. There were no do-overs in life, nor should there be. Her own mistaken assumptions had sent that situation spiraling out of control. But now that Sojiro was involved, she had to make sure that her secret was safe with him. Even if there had been another, better option, that ship had sailed. Human relationships were ultimately driven by mutual misunderstandings. Isn't that true?
No.
Not really, but
Not
it's a big
necessarily.
it's a big thing though, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's a part of what drives them. Like
Yes.
tapestries woven from mismatched intentions. Break time was over. No, break time was over like a couple minutes ago. There stood Aoko Ozaki and Sojiro Shizuki. I almost said Suzuki. Their first idle conversation they had since first meeting had come to an end. Not that they had a choice in the matter. It was the jarring murmuring from around the corner that cut it short. I almost forgot. It's time to be scared.
This is what you want. You wanted Toko, right?
Uh-huh.
You wanted Toko the whole time.
She's so cool. And terrifying.
Nobody remembers my funeral. My mourners have long since perished. We were born wrong. Life is suffering. Somebody save me.
The enemy was just around the corner, visible in the mirrors parallel to it.
悠長に話してる場合じゃないわね。とにかく今は距離を。
Oh no.
We don't have time for this. We don't have time for this. We need to keep our Huh?
Oh, wait.
Oh, cool.
Wait, that's a gander shot?
It has long range.
In contrast to Aoko's elegant blues, its lights were a malicious red. Toko?
Dirty red.
Uh-huh.
Gander shots.
There was a momentary flash of light before she even extended her arm. But the instant she saw her enemy, her dormant feelings erupted once more.
さっきから邪魔なのよ。
You're a real pain in the ass.
There's just not enough I could say about
You're a real pain in the ass.
how good this looks, you know?
Pain in the ass.
I'm
Yeah,
just
it's right.
beyond blown away here.
Bright magic.
A barrier?
Ha.
She channeled all her pent-up anger and shunted it into her right arm. The fog that filled the corridor was no magical weaving, but rather a barrier of raw energy. They are. Yeah, she seems kind of mean here. It was equivalent to setting ablaze to 3 buckets of gasoline to create a wall of fire and hope that it would stop an arrow in flight. If the puppet had attacked with its arm, it could have pierced such a wall easily. But because it had looped curses with no definite form, the wall of energy repelled the attack. I just love how, with Nasu, a lot of times it's just it's a magical barrier, but there's just a detailed explanation on how it works. The rules are just laid out.
Not even just that, but this isn't just a magical barrier. This is just Aoko's too fucked up to do a magic barrier right now. She's just shooting out she's just shooting out electricity in the hopes that it sparks shit away.
It's so good. Well, it was a huge waste of magical energy. It was the only means Aoko had to protect herself in that very moment. This is, redefining how I write magic, too, so... Good for you, Nasia. I love you.
Love you.
Unfortunately, its protection was reserved to Aoko alone. Oh no! Sojiro! Sojiro held his hand to his mouth. Well, the curse had been weakened to the point where Aoko could no longer feel it. It had plenty of effect on Sojiro, who is not a mage. I know, it's so good. It's so good.
It's immune to magic, huh?
Uh-huh. As if it understood this fact, the puppet turned its gaze from Aoko to the unanticipated human behind her. It's just like, yeah, like even if it's weakened, Sojiro is not a mage. Also ripped the theory about him being immune to magic.
This has nothing to do with him.
That was on purpose.
Nothing
Just
to do with him.
such a good sprite. Enraged, she swung her arm forward once again. Also that. The blue light formed a wall to block the gander for a scant few seconds. It feels like she's loading her arm like a gun.
Yeah.
It was enough of an opening to exploit. Just as Aoko was forming the wall, the puppet pointed its right arm at her face and...
関係あるみたいだから逃げるぞ。
Oh my god. This apparently does have something to do with me. Time to run. Before the rocket of death could be fired, Sojiro scooped her up into his arms. Yeah.
Just
How he mustered the strength to do so was a mystery, but he turned his back on the puppet and took off running.
it's a mountain man.
He's a mountain man. No, see, like... Yeah, like... He didn't use a bicycle. He had to just walk up and downhill. It makes sense. He's a good runner. He said he was a good runner earlier.
He had to walk uphill both ways.
He was a nimble sprinter, resembling a deer leaping across obstacles. Sojiro rounded 2 more corners, ignored whatever complaints Aoko was making, and eventually stopped in the middle of the 2nd floor. He set her down.
よし、ここまで来れば少しは休めるな。
Alright.
Alright. Oh, sorry, that's you.
Alright. I bought us enough time to rest for a bit. Or rest a bit. Sojiro's shoulders heaved as he caught his breath. As light as she was, running while carrying someone else would make anyone winded. Not now,
Is that the
Kojo
Kojo
money
money
rap.
rap?
Yeah. It's my alarm because it's harsh and it always wakes me up, but...
Yep.
She looked at him in incomprehension. It's also an alarm that I set like a month ago that's no longer relevant, but I keep forgetting to unset it. And before people say to just unset it now, I'm going to do that. I'll save it till after this. She looked up at him in incomprehension.
こんな体力あったのに、なんで?
You had that much stamina all along? Then why?
It made no sense to her. If he had the stamina to pick her up and run, surely he could have stood up and escaped when he had been downed earlier.
ああ、あの時は諦めてたから。
It was emotional, not physical. Oh, that time I'd given up. His words were unfiltered as ever. Though in this moment, fighting for their lives, he lacked some of his usual absent-mindedness.
諦めてたってどうして?
But why?
さあ、忘れた、そんなことは。
Who knows? I've forgotten already. Though he may have been turned away because he regretted saying it aloud, his words spoke volumes. For some reason, it pained Aoko to see him like that.
それより青崎、唐突に気分が悪いんだが。
Also, Aosaki? I'm suddenly feeling really ill.
あの赤い光も、その...
Was it that red light?
ええ、魔術の類よ。岩洞打ちって言ってね。北欧の呪詛の一つ。
Oh, there's a
魔
whole
術回
history
路のある
here,
私に
okay.
は聞かないけど、 抵抗のないあなたには効果てきめんみたいね。
Yeah, you didn't remember?
I forgot that it was from Scandinavia specifically.
Yes. Form of magecraft. They're called gander shots, a curse that originated in Scandinavia. It has no effect on someone with magic circuits like myself, but you're defenseless against it.
I forgot that they were gonna use that as a like magic detector on Kuzuki.
Yep.
なんだ、青崎には効かないのか。じゃあ、危ないのはあの腕だけだな。
I see. It doesn't work on you. Then that arm is the only thing that poses a threat. Alka had no idea why he was relieved, but she gritted her teeth and fought down the urge to snap at him. There is no use in yelling at him. There is no use in yelling at a time like this. Above all, she felt that it would have been petty in the extreme to voice her annoyance right now.
そうね。注意するのは伸ばしてくる腕だけ。大した相手じゃないわ、やっぱり。
You're right. The extending arm is the only thing I have to worry about. But it's not that tough after all.
This time, it was not false bravado. Such an enemy would normally be a breeze for Aoko Aozaki. But her shameful negligence had led to the disruption of her magic circuits, making her even less formidable than her enemy. At this point, Aoko had no way of attacking. The only option left to her was to wait for it to expend all of its magical energy, but its perpetual curse mechanism made that a non-starter. It's just so insane, it's limitless energy.
Yeah.
This game of tag would not end until one of them was dead. She realized that she was in the same position she had cornered Sojiro in earlier. She glanced at her right arm. She could not imagine how she had gotten into such a mess with her magical energy at more than half its capacity. This had to be karma for having enjoyed toying with Sojiro earlier.
呆れた。いるところにはいるものね、神様って。
Huh. Maybe there is a god after all.
She grumbled under her breath as she shifted her focus.
Huh. Maybe there is a god after all.
She had the fuel for the fire, but not the igniter. That killing machine would chase her until the end of time, if need be. What she should do next was blindingly clear. She had to get back to normal.
青崎、
Oh, I'm getting excited. I'm getting excited for the solution they're gonna come to. It's gonna be great. Aosaki?
ごめん、考え事してた。
Sorry, I was thinking.
確か。よし、合ってる。しずきくん、そこに横道あるのわかる？
Maybe that could... Okay, Shizuki, I've got it. You see that side passage over there?
Huh? Aoko pointed, but he could see nothing but the walls of the corridor. For one thing, the floor had nothing but left turns, and Aoko was pointing to the right.
2階は中心まで行くと1階に降りる階段があるんだけど、それは私が壊したから使えないの。
Oh yeah!
At the center of the second floor is a stairway down to the first floor, which I destroyed earlier so you couldn't use it.
Is that called Chekhov's gun? I don't remember.
Yes.
Yay, I got a thing right!
Except honestly, like this is a hidden Chekhov's gun, right? Because it's like it did serve a purpose earlier too.
Yep, but it also
Chekhov's
served it's a repeated Chekhov's gun.
よく見れば右に曲がる通路もあるのよ。上級者だけにわかる抜け
Chekhov's
道ってやつ。
machine gun! That's a hell of a
But there's
quote.
another path that leads to the right. Like this place is taunting you by design. It's a secret shortcut that only the hardcore fans know about.
Hardcore fans.
あとは注意して探せば1階の階段までショートカットできる。悪いけど
Oh
一人で
no.
行って。
If you search carefully, you can find a way to the stairs down to the first floor. Now do as I say and go without me.
Chekhov's 9-bullet revolver. Oh, Chekhov's magic bullet revolver. My brain just saw that it was like 9-bullet revolver. Akko turned her back to Sojiro and started walking. Walking in the opposite direction of the escape route and down the long corridor towards the puppet in pursuit.
あいつは
Akko,
無
what
差
are you
別だから
planning?
ここで壊さないといけない。魔術師は魔術師同士で争うのはいいんだけど、みだりに一般人に手を出しちゃいけないって決まりがあるの。
Okay, now I'm
That
right.
thing will kill anything it sees. So I have to destroy it here and now. It's okay for two mages to fight each other, but dragging normal people into the conflict is strictly forbidden.
あいつの目的は私のわけだし、
She's
結果
letting
が
him
どう
get
あれ
away.
すっきりするでしょ。
I'm the target, so this is the best outcome. I'm the target, so this is the best outcome for everyone, don't you think?
If Alko won, the puppet would be destroyed. If Alko lost, its objective would be complete, and it would shut down. Either way, them going their separate ways would mean Sojiro survived. This is what Alko meant. Though she explained it as if the events were happening in to two totally different people.
運が良ければ入り口までたどり着けるわ。
If you're lucky enough, you'll make it back to the gate in one piece.
それじゃあまた明日ね。
So, see you tomorrow then.
What are you planning? Even Sojiro could tell she was just trying to act tough. But she had already disappeared around the corner by the time he thought to stop her. And the party is split.
さて。
Well then.
My heart, my heart. Okay. Mentally, Alko bemoaned the disaster she was in. The quality of this puppet was on a completely different level compared to the one from the park 2 days ago. An auto-incanting perpetual motion machine was a rarity in and of itself, but this puppet was also equipped for battle with its extending arms and gander projecting crystalline eyes. It was a first-class product that, if put on the market, would sell for hundreds of millions of yen. How much is that?
Millions of dollars.
Wow. Toko's kind of insane, isn't she?
Yeah.
Although, that was only when factoring in its value as an antique. For the purposes of combat, it would have made more sense to mobilize a significantly less expensive familiar. There is some of that Nasu reversal. To use such a precious commodity as a tool for murder marked this puppet's master as a completely different breed of crazy from the enemies she had faced up until now.
Verbo in som, solitare putresque inferis. Ictius meus obitus dies, et meus nativus dies. Theober.
Oh, there are the chills.
Vivo in somno, salutare putresco in inferis. Hic dies meos obitus dies, et meos nativus dies. Te obeam.
Your pronunciation is insane.
I have no idea how well or terrible I'm doing. Let me just grab the...
Like, you specifically
Let me
sound
just
like...
grab the,
You sound like you know what you're doing, and that's all that matters.
I can copy.
Magical. Yeah, no, she absolutely is. She always has the unhinged look in her eyes. She's great.
来たわね。
Here it comes.
Like, even from what I remember of, like, Kara no Kyoka, you can see that part of her.
Yup.
A sound of a crackling music box filled the air. The automata, animated by its
Automata.
own curses, approached. I pissed off a lot of Nier fans. Is it automata?
I
or
mean, the problem
automata?
there is... So, the problem with Nier is, do you pronounce it like the word, or do you, like, pronounce it as a title? And I've been yelled at by people on both sides. So, I just call it automata, because it pissed my brother off, and that was fun.
The corridor measured approximately 30 feet in length. Aoko lay in wait around a corner further down the hall, anticipating the puppet's appearance. This was not to buy Sojiro time to escape. Far from it. Aoko had concluded that she couldn't make a break for it under the current circumstances. Even if she did try to escape, and, by some miracle, made it out of the House of Mirrors, that is as far as she would go. Outside, with no cover, Aoko would quickly be overtaken and skewered from behind. As long as her magecraft was disabled, escape was impossible. Instead, she chose to force the enemy back. Her situation was not the most favorable, but neither was the puppet's. Though this narrow hall gave Aoko no place to run, it in turn prevented the puppet from reaching full speed. That was the weak point of this machine. Automata of its era had a tendency to struggle with minute changes in speed.
セット。
Set.
I love the little like
Connecting.
text above.
Yeah. It's fucking... In Japanese, it's pronunciation guides, right? Because it, like, oftentimes has, like, the more complex, like, kanji below, and then, like, if I remember it, it's hiragana up above to, like, show what exactly the word is supposed to be.
Oh, it looks like there's some disagreement on that.
Yeah, well, okay, that's the thing. But, yeah, Nasu just uses it to represent two different meanings to the same
Yes,
thing.
and I fucking love that. It's so good. Like I've been,
Based off of an idea called alternate character interpretation.
I've been like watching a Fate Let's Play, and I've just been seeing that pop up, and it's so good. It's so good. I'm remembering it. Was it in our translation? I forget. It has been.
No, it was in our HA translation.
Yeah, that's why I didn't remember in Scene 8, but it was so good in Scene 8.
Yeah, I know. I'm dying trying to recreate that in, like, Google Docs or something.
Nasu inspired us both so much, huh? Oh, look at that. She flowed energy into her shorted circuits. Oh my god, it literally shorts out her circuits. I just realized. Because they're circuits.
Yup.
Her blood flow and magical energy supply were unstable. It would be difficult to construct a formula in this state.
I mean, it's not that they're literally circuits, but it's that they're metaphorically circuits, and so it attacked it on a metaphorical level. Because that's what it fucking is. It's a story. Even in the world, Magecraft is just a story we tell ourselves to do shit faster.
Oh, there's like actual like components in there, sort of.
Yeah.
Wait, which
They're
one's
designed like
sisters?
actual circuits. Is that the? I think that's the like jagged, like the diamonds in there.
Yeah, that's what I would assume is that all she could do was harden her right arm by imbuing it with as much magical energy as she could. Strengthening magic. Doing so turned her arm into an improvised weapon, like a hammer or bat. Assuming she could manage to get into a close combat range, this was the best she could do. All she needed now was a plan of attack. The question wasn't what weapon to use, but how to use the weapon she had. Just all of her versatility is gone.
Yeah.
The simplest
Not
way...
that she had much to begin with.
The simplest way would be to use the mirror's reflections to hide, and then rush the puppet from its blind spot. Except for one major problem. It did not have a sense of sight in the first place. The puppet's view of the world around it did not stem from visual feedback, but from mapping the topography of its surroundings. In theory, it was the same as a bat's sense of echolocation. The environment could be measured based on the emission and return of high-frequency sound waves. Those chants served
so
as
you were
sensor
just-
pulses. That's so cool! That's so fucking cool!
So the best way to would be to just basically fucking chaff grenade it. Just shatter all the mirrors around her and rush it.
As far as the puppet was concerned, the mirrors were no better than transparent panes, making even the thought of an ambush laughable.
近づけば近づくほどよりリアルに察知される。本当は遠距離からの狙撃が最適なんだけど、ガンドを撃ってくるならフィンの一撃ぐらい隠してるわよね。
Isn't it? Like, it's so efficient.
Closer-
It's so efficient. It uses the curses, like the muttering of the curses, as well as, like, to maintain itself, but also to locate things. It's like nothing goes to waste. It's such a perfectly built
Well, wait,
machine.
does it literally use echolocation? I thought it was just like
Like a
bouncing
magical
magical
version
energy
of it?
out. Yeah. But yeah, just
The closer it gets,
thing-
the more it's able to sense me. I'd really rather fight it at a distance, but if it's shooting Gander, it's probably got at least a fin shot up its sleeve, too.
Toko really is, like, a genius. She's a mad scientist. She's so cool.
Son of a bitch!
Gander was Scava-Canadian. Scava-Canadian.
I was
God.
literally about to say that.
Bagged milk! God, that's so fucking cool.
It uttered its ultimate curse.
Like, believe me, I'm
Milk,
here
eh?
for... I'm here for, like, all the, like... I'm here for all of, like, what Nasu has to offer, basically. I like all of it. the deep
Yeah.
emotional scenes, the existential horror, the, like, intricate magical systems. It's just all so perfect. It's exactly what I want. And I missed it so much. Gander was Scandinavian in origin, and, considering its simplicity, highly versatile. It was most effective at imparting a target's health by pointing a
Impairing.
finger. Or, impairing. Like, what was it that made you think I would like, Nalsi's rating? Like, how did you figure it out?
Definitely the self-loathing.
Ha, 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 yeah. That makes sense.
Like, genuinely 100%. I don't remember exactly what it was that you said, but I remember you saying it. Me thinking to myself, that sounds like some Shiro shit. I should try and get her to read Fate Stay Night.
And then we did. And then we fell in love. I love you.
Thank you for enjoying it.
Single. The ancient verse of pointing.
Yeah.
You. As a single action magecraft, it was limited to only causing illness, but there was a secret technique said to be the greatest mastery of the gander shot. The fin shot. It could do more than cause simple illness. It was a deadly curse that could stop the heart. Alco! Alco! The wound in her back set her nerves on fire. I'm worried about her. An unarmed girl and a deadly automaton. By the way, something I just love about Nosty's rating, I think I talked about it a little bit, but just the reversals. They're just saying a certainty and then just reversing it.
Yeah.
Because it always keeps you on the edge, right? Sometimes the certainty is true, sometimes it's not, but you never know.
Certainties are always from someone's point of view, and no one's omniscient.
And I know they use it more with servants, too. Like, especially. And that makes sense, because these things are certainties to most people. It just, like, emphasizes the, like, sheer scale of things. You know?
Yeah.
So good.
And it's
unarmed
breaking
girl.
the rules.
An unarmed girl and a deadly automaton. It was clear that she was the one destined for death. She considered her slim chances of survival when...
Oh.
Okay. Right. Wow. Okay. Hold on, sorry, just need to... A vision sent chills down her spine. Just that figure is so...
Haunting.
It's so what? What did you say?
Haunting.
Yeah, haunting. So haunting. Quietly, using everything she could to clamp down on the feeling, Alco faced her all too familiar illusion. She clenched her teeth to keep them from making a deafening clatter. But there, the sensation of fingers crawling up her neck. Behind her, the specter stared and laughed. This alone made Alco want to bolt. On top of it all, when Alco tried to mentally simulate this coming flight, or simulate the coming fight, she estimated a 2 in 10 chance of dying in the first 5 seconds. %. At times, her predictions were harsher than reality. God, this imagery is so good. There's that red just bleeding in again. If Alco fought the puppet 10 times, she would die twice. If she could not stop herself from visualizing her own corpse. She imagined herself collapsing, crumpling under the puppet's curse. Her eyeballs swollen like a blowfish, blood and other fluids oozing from every bodily orifice. 1 in 5, 1 in 5, 1 in 5. A 1 in 10 chance of death was bad enough, but a 1 in 5? It drove her crazy.
But...
Alco forced down her heart as it tried to escape from her mouth. Taking in a deep breath, she peered at her own reflection. She thought back to that white night, half a year ago. This, she decided, was nothing compared to that. 6 months ago, at the Kunuji estate,
Kuanji.
Kuanji estate, the hound of white roses, the wander snatch that appeared from within the thick fog, had killed Aoko 100 times out of 10.
Mea anima immortalis, ote mea futura negata sunt. Manes sum, animam definira ambiguum est.
Holy fucking shit.
Me anima immortalis, autum mea futara necata sunt. Mane sum, animam definire ambiguum est. You okay?
Yeah, no, I just actually poured a little cold water on my face there.
Hey, it's gonna be okay, alright?
No, I'm good. Trust me, this is good. This is good. This is really fucking good. It's because it's so good. It's so good. A dark curse shattered Aoko's daydream. It was only 30 feet away. The puppet around the corner. The puppet rounded the corner. Either side stood in the shadows, their forms indistinct. The puppet gave no warning. Without preamble, it swiftly fired a Gander barrage. Just as Aoko planned, the curse fizzled out as they hit her mist-like barrier of magical energy. The protection would only last a few seconds, giving her just enough time to...
Come on!
Its stretchable spear sprang forward toward Aoko's face.
Bingo!
Bingo!
Look at this. The lethal weapon grazed her cheek. All her experience analyzing the puppet's attack patterns gave her the wherewithal to avoid the attack by a hair's breadth. It was one thing if the puppeteer were pulling the strings, but autonomous dolls had their limitations. Aoko had bet everything on this killing machine following a predefined template. The puppet would use a given attack for a given range, and she could adjust her tactics to that.
It's a Dark Souls boss fight.
I don't
That was my chance.
fully understand. I kind of get what you mean.
Or rather, it's any boss fight.
Before its arms had a chance to fully retract, she changed the puppet.
It's
or
any
charged the
video game
puppet.
boss fight, you know?
Yeah, no, it's anything that's got an AI to it, you know? It was a risky gamble. But
What'd you
her
say?
overall
Hello?
chances were slim to begin with.
Oh, no.
Hello?
Oh.
Hello?
Hello? We're back?
Was that just your audio? I think it was just your audio.
I think your Discord is, like, on the verge of death. Yeah, it was your Discord.
It was my Discord.
Yeah.
I need to reinstall. We gotta install TeamSpeak.
No. Look, honestly, we can look up solutions later. Let's keep going.
Yeah,
for
no,
now.
I don't want to fix this now, believe me. It was a risky gamble, but her overall chances were slim to begin with. The scale was tipped in her favor. God, that image is horrifying. Do you know who it reminds me of a little bit sometimes? Like some of the depictions of Ryder in HA. In the horror scenes.
Yeah.
I think it's the hair color and the eye. The red eye. If her predictions were correct, there were 2 ways she would die. One was from a fin shot fired at that range. And the other The other was that the puppet's attack pattern was beyond her ability to foresee. Instantaneous mass transfer, otherwise known as mass displacement. No, wait! Immediately after Aoko dodged the puppet's arm, something smashed into her abdomen.
Yeah.
Yeah! Aoko! Head-on collision from its shoulder felt like a rocket. But where did the ability to propel itself come from? Puppets like this were not built to have the ability to jet around like that. Doing everything in her power to stay conscious, in spite of the pain, Aoko could just make out what had happened. He was pulled by the arm! That makes sense.
It wasn't propelled. It was pulled? It was pulled.
Yes. The puppet's arm had not returned to its body. It was lodged in the wall and reeled itself from the other direction.
It can do that!
Swallowing
It can
her surprise,
do that!
she hastily pulled herself back up. Her
It
abdomen,
can do that? Can't get that
specifically
good.
her diaphragm, had been dealt a significant blow. Aoko! Oh gosh. The attack had left her disoriented. Thankfully, the puppet was surprisingly lightweight. Her bones and organs were intact, and she had sustained no life-threatening damage. She was having a hard time breathing, however. She was shaken, though she managed to keep her calm. In another 2 seconds, she'd be back on her feet. Nope. That was 2 seconds too long. She told herself to calm down. She was already calm. She'd only briefly lost her bearings. She was fine. She could recover her breath and her vision later if only her body would move!
Intellectus non necessaris est, quisque escat, o nostro sentiabulat fit, ratio fix tantum est, dolores nicium cerebrum fit.
Ah! Stop crashing. Okay.
Intellectus non necessarius est. Deus quaescat. O nostra essentia ablata tuit. Ratio fixa tantum est. Dolores initium cerebrum fuit.
Above her, Aoko could hear the warped noises of a powerful force.
動け。でもどっちに行けば。
Come on, legs, move! If catch it, get to... Where?
Look at the silhouettes. She could once more feel the touch of death.
E salvati, e salvati, e salvati.
Aoko?
Grant us salvation. Grant us salvation. Grant us salvation.
The puppet was so close that Aoko could reach out and touch it. That also meant that it could reach out and kill Aoko.
コーツの右腕の死角に入れる。
To get my right arm into its blind spot.
Come on, Aoko. But intuition
Understanding
alone.
is not necessary. May Pius rest in peace. Oh, our essence has been taken away. Only reason is fixed. The beginning of the pain was the brain.
That was on purpose.
Yeah.
By intuition alone, Alco pulled over to the puppet's right flank. Its arm was still embedded within the wall. From here, it could not attack. She had made the right decision, and her dizziness faded.
Intellectus non necessaris est, quis quiescat. Un nostra sentabulata fit. Rato fit standum est. Lores
God, those
inter
wires.
fit.
Those fucking wires.
Cast off righteousness. Lay piety to rest. We beasts are meant to consume each other. Life is but a decoration. Throw away your intellect. Pain powers the mind.
Alco pulled herself back up.
Initium cerebrum fit.
Alco pulled
Pain
herself
is where the mind begins.
Oh, that's so visceral. Alco pulled herself back up. It was her turn.
What?
Yep, that hits that uncanny valley, doesn't it?
Oh, who's that look like?
It looks like her. Alco. Oh my god, it looks just like her. I thought I saw that in the beginning, but I wasn't sure. Of course it would look like her. It was only an instant. Within this labyrinth of mirrors, she saw an image of herself.
Quis salvatu.
We die.
Oh, it's Alco with bright red hair.
A blinding, brilliant light flashed. Lacerations appeared across the walls of... At the last moment, Alco managed to thicken the magical energy running through her veins into a primitive form of magecraft resistance. It just barely saved her life from what must have been the puppet's ace in the hole.
You.
The puppet bore a striking resemblance to Alco. This powerful curse was not satisfied with stopping Alco's heart, but destroying her entire being. It's personal. Immensely personal. Alco did not even have time to be shocked. It was her chance for a counterattack. The puppet's balance was unsteady, its right arm still embedded in the wall. Alco prepared to give its defenseless body a strong kick, but her knee buckled, and she collapsed into a heap on the floor.
Solitare putris cum feris. Ictius meus obitus tius. Et meus natibus tius.
Oh god, this makes so much sense with Toko. She hates Alco so much, doesn't she?
In slumber I live, in dirt I rot alone. Today is the day I died and was born. I come to you.
A sudden nausea and lightheadedness overcame Alco. Her body temperature began to rapidly lower.
こいつ呪いをばらまいてるんだった。
Oh no!
Whole time? It was spreading its curses the whole time.
She noticed.
That is terrible.
Old age.
Terrible, whatever.
Sorry. Did you want to?
No, it's fine. No. We need to
The
keep going.
puppet's curse. The puppet's curses circled the hall.
Curses the whole time.
The curse chant the
Oh.
puppet uses
Ah.
as its power. Doubled as a defense mechanism, crippling those who drew near with illness. She bore the full brunt the entire time she was in close proximity to it. Although Alco had magic circuits, she was succumbing just as Sojiro had. Laughably, she forced her deteriorating body to
Languidly.
jump up. Elko.
I'm not done yet!
With all the energy she could muster, she forced her way past the exhaustion caused by the curse. However, Alko's blood pressure took a steep nosedive, not from the curse-induced anemia, but from what appeared in front of her. They stood in perfect harmony. In front of Alko was the automata that shared her face, its left arm held out like an arrow. The deadly weapon shot forward and honed in on her heart. Then, a moment before it made contact.
危ない
I knew it! I knew he was coming! I knew it! There was no way he was just gonna leave. Watch out. Watch out! Watch out! The moment she heard that fearless voice, completely out of place in the storm of violence, Alko's body was pulled forcefully to the one side. Once again, the extending arm cut through the empty air. He's here! He's here! He would never leave her. He would never leave
It's
her
the
to
boy.
die there. While the puppet quickly retracted its left arm, Sojiro took the brief opportunity to take Alko by the hand and flee at full speed. If there's one thing he's good at, it's running. He's fast. And there's nothing wrong with that. Sojiro ran through the corridor as fast as he could, only stopping when he had put enough distance between them and the puppet.
その考えてみると
I love this. I love this so much. He just comes in and grabs her. He's so
Was he
baffling in
thinking
the
that
best
killing
way.
people was wrong? Is that what he's thinking?
Killing people is wrong. I was thinking, and though he had saved her, she looked angry rather than grateful. This did not keep Sojiro from saying his piece.
明日はどうも忙しいみたいなんだ
He's still worried about his job! Tomorrow is going to be a really busy day for me, so... In other words, let's finish this today. I know, right? A rather awkward proposal. I love the bouncing of the tone. It's done so well. I think if we talked about before how that's just how we are, though.
Yeah.
Alko remained silent. She was also rather angry. Not that she could figure out what made him tick. Not that she could not figure out what made him tick. Nor because he'd returned after escaping. Not even because he was spouting his typically air-headed lines. It was, she supposed, that instant. The fact that he grabbed her hand. Her mind had gone completely blank. Alko found it unforgivable. Which beckoned the response.
あなた、正気
Are you insane?
Mm-hmm.
In the heat of the moment, she blurted it before he could stop her. Or before she
そ
could
れとも
stop
自殺
herself.
願望でもあったわけ私もあいつもあんたなんか殺す対象に過ぎないのよ
Or maybe you've got a death wish? Don't you realize that either of us could kill you with a snap of a finger?
少なくとも恩を売る相手じゃない
At the very least, I don't owe you a damn thing.
言っとくけど私助けられたぐらいで曲がる信念は持ち合わせていないから
Saving my life doesn't change a thing between us.
Sojiro nodded. clearly unperturbed.
青崎がそんな可愛らしいもんじゃないのはこの夜だけで骨身に染みてるよ。
Don't worry, Aosaki. If tonight taught me anything, it's that you're more ruthless than that.
Like, okay, like,
Look at her face.
Aoko is like halfway between fucking like anime Reen and Reen, if we're going to talk about like V and Reen, if we're going to talk about like comparisons to Reen.
Yeah, it's not quite mean. It's. I think you had that read early on too.
Yeah, she's like. She and Reen are emulating the same archetype. They're trying to be the same person, but coming at it from slightly different places.
She found herself slightly offended.
けど君は勘違いをしてるから少し正そう。
But I think you need to get one thing straight.
あいつの狙いは青崎だけじゃない。君だけじゃなく、俺も殺す気だと思う。
That thing isn't just trying to kill you. I think it's trying to kill me as well. She was having none of it. Her eyes shot daggers his way.
話は最後まで聞く。どうしてかっていうと、1階の入り口あるだろ？あの細長い通路。
Oh god, Mero, yeah, his boss. Honestly, that boss is more terrifying than anything. Ever. Fuck that boss. And before you chew me out, you need to know something. Do you remember the first floor entrance at the end of the long corridor?
なんでかあそこから先に進めないんだ。逃げたくても逃げ出せなくて。仕方なく戻ってきた。
Well, it's blocked. I tried my best to find a way out, but no luck. There is no choice but to turn right back. Aoko's eyes widened ever so slightly in amazement. Not out of shock, but rather admiration that her enemy would go to such lengths.
それに、さっきので完全に敵扱いされた。あの人形、こっちをじろっと睨んできたし。
And besides, it was hostile to me too earlier. I could tell by how it was glaring at me.
いや、一瞬でよく見えなかったけ
His
ど、
eyes.
生きた心地しなかったな。青崎も気をつけた方がいい。多分よっぽど怖い顔をしているに違いないぞ、あれ。
Oh no! Oh no! Well, it happened so fast that I didn't really get a good look at it, but it was really unsettling. You should be careful. That thing, she sure has a terrifying face.
それはご親切にどう思う？
Gee, thanks.
I love
なん
these
で
two
これはも
so
う他人
much.
事じゃないんだ。
You bet. You bet. I mean, I can't pretend like this isn't happening to me.
青崎と人形。結論として、どっちが勝っても俺は殺されてしまうんじゃないか？
Whichever of you wins, I'm a dead man either way, right?
そうね。そこまでやってるなら目撃者は消すでしょうね。私みたいに。
But it left dead victims as one when it entered.
It did. That's true. It did. That's a good catch there.
I can't argue with that. If it's willing to go as far as to seal off the entrance, then it'd probably kill any witnesses as well. At least that's what I'd do.
It's so personal, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just entering looking like Alco and just marking off victims as one before entering.
だろ？でも、俺はあいつには殺されたくない。
Right? and I don't want to be and I don't want her to be the one who kills me. There's very few of them, but there are some benefits to reading the lines as I like read them, you know? That kind of reaction.
What?
He's just like, I broke the rules of the city. I get it. I gotta go.
His words were decisive. As Aoko looked up at him, she could swear he was trying to encourage her. It was then that she realized Sojiro was looking even worse than before.
ちょっと待って。大丈夫なのあなた。
Hey, are you okay?
まあ醤油を一升瓶飲むよりはマシではないかと。
We know someone who did that, don't we? We know someone who did that.
No, we don't. We don't because he threw up in the middle of it.
Still.
Because if you drank an entire bottle of soy sauce, you would die. Yes, that exactly.
Hi, Bash, if
Which,
you're watching.
yes, is his way of saying, well, I'm not dead.
Well, I'm better than if I drank an entire bottle of soy sauce.
Unless he's done that before and survived.
I could see that. I could totally see that. I honestly could.
It's like, Sojiro, that kills people. It's like, wait, it usually does? Is that like a city
Sojiro,
thing?
that kills people.
Out in the mountains, we just drink it by the bottle all the time.
He tried to make light of the situation, but his forehead was clearly drenched in sweat.
そうか。さっき人形に近づいたから。
It's because he was close to the puppet just now.
How could he possibly be able to withstand a curse that made even Aoko nauseous? She bit her lip, annoyed at herself for not noticing this earlier. Sojiro was such an airhead that she hadn't even paused to consider his plight.
下で隠れていようとか思わなかったの？その方がどう考えても安全でしょ？
Why didn't you consider trying to hide down in the basement? That would have been the safest bet, wouldn't it?
I would rather not approach any basements in any Nasu work, please. She really could not understand him at all. She really couldn't understand him at all.
それは青崎が言うセリフじゃないな。
I mean, if you don't check the basement, then the priest will just go to your house and throw the contents of said basement in front of your house, so... That ending was fucked up.
Yeah. If you don't confront your own demons, you'll get them thrown at you later by a priest. Then you get stabbed. That is how life works.
You should really take your own advice sometimes, Aozaki. Who does
でも
though?
まあ長話をしている時間もない。そろそろ追いついてくる頃だ。
But hey, this is no time to be chatting. She could catch up any moment. He turned to look down the corridor. The crackling sounds of a music box could be heard creeping forth from the darkness. Wait, the music box is in...
It's
that's
diegetic?
That's incredible. I love that.
さっき1階にいて考えたんだ。君がやられても俺は殺される。なら、まず奴をどうにかするべきだ。
I was thinking about this wall on the first floor earlier. If it kills you, I'm next. That's why we should deal with it first.
あなた、何が言いたいの？
What are you getting at?
She asked a question to which she already knew the answer. She did it to put him to the test. If he wavered even a little, she would have killed him where he stood.
提案。あいつをやっつけるのに協力したら、俺のことは見逃してくれる？
It's happening. It's happening.
When given a gun, would you shoot the lion or the kitten. I don't think I'd shoot either. You asked me what I'd do, right? Not like not anything else. I just have a gun then.
It's literally it. This is literally it. My proposal is that if I agree to help you kill that thing, will you let me go?
助けられたぐらいじゃ信念は曲げないって言ったでしょ。
I thought I had made it clear that helping me wasn't going to change my mind.
それに、あなたに何ができるっていうの？
That bandage.
And
That
besides, what do you think you're going to do to it anyway?
それは青崎が考えてくれ。得意だろ、そういうの。
No, you tell me what I'm gonna do to it.
That's incredible. That's your end of the bargain, Aozaki. This is your area of expertise, right? I just hit enter on my keyboard. That doesn't count. The commander, who had the overall picture, was responsible for delegating roles to their teammates. It was futile to depend on someone who was unable to grasp the situation or evaluate the enemy's strength. Sojiro was proud to share that he knew this. Proud to share that he didn't know shit. Which is actually important. It's important to be able to recognize that.
Yeah.
That's actually really admirable. He spoke the truth. Aoko was the one who knew both Sojiro and the automata. That was why he pointed out that following her orders to the best of his ability was the only thing he could do. It may have seemed as though Sojiro had surrendered his capacity for self-thought, but, in fact, in accepting that he was helpless, he was in fact giving in to Aoko his complete trust.
じゃあ、私の指示に 100% 従うってこと？
Fine, then. So you'll do exactly what I tell you to do.
ああ。それに、これは恩とか義理の話じゃない。
I will. And just so you know, I'm not doing this out of a sense of obligation or anything.
一人だと分が悪いから二人でかかるだけだ。善意でも好意でもない。取引って言わないか、こういうの。
It's just obvious that neither of us have a chance on our own. This isn't a goodwill or kindness. It's a transaction. His eyes sparkled, as if this was bartering in its truest form.
Oh my god.
I love this so much. I love Mahoyo. Oh my god. This child must have learned that from Tobimaru, Aoko thought. Tobimaru just sneezes. I wonder how Sono-G is doing.
Oh. Wonder how Sono-G is doing.
That voice you do for him is great. You know? It's just, like the way you say Sono-G, it just makes you laugh.
Sono-G. Trashy.
It's a different kind of laughing. Though she refused to let him see it, underneath she cracked a smile. Sure, she had gotten the best of her he had gotten the best of her just now. But there were times when defeat was not the worst outcome in the world.
労働と報酬ってわけね。それなら理にかなってる。
Honest work, or honest pay for honest work. Makes sense.
It's a lot, but it's honest work.
言いたくないけど。
And, I hate to admit it, but
She relaxed her shoulders and sighed. Her face cracked into a wicked smile, as if her fears had suddenly washed away.
それ結構私の好みよ。
Your plan?
Your plan is just my style.
Oko repaid Sojiro's trust in equal measure. Let's go! Let's go! It's happening!
結構きついかもね。あなたの役目。
Just so you know, this is going to be pretty tough for you.
Okay. So I think all plans are on the table here, considering that Shiro Emiya shot Saber out of a bow as an arrow before.
He had a command spell, though. He
That's
had a
true.
command spell, and he just used her. It was less like shooting her like an arrow, honestly, and it was more like activating her fucking jet engine with
Like,
his
I don't-
like supercharging fuel.
I don't mean the skill though, I just mean the like insanity of the plan.
The thing is that all of the elements were already introduced.
Oko warned Sojiro, moving as fast as she could without her footfalls causing a din of noise. Or I guess if we're using certain pronunciations, a din of noise.
Dine.
Tosaka din.
A loud, unpleasant, and prolonged noise, a din.
Tosaka din. Sojiro remained near the center of the spiral maze on the second floor.
実を言うと、もう一つ用意しておいた仕掛けがあるの。
Oh?
I'll
Oh?
let you in on a secret.
Oh?
I have another trap up my sleeve.
自分でもやりすぎだって呆れたもんだけど、あなたがここに来るのが遅かったから。ちょっと今日に乗っちゃっ
That's it! They survived because he was late! Potentially.
I think I might have gone overboard with this one. But when you didn't show up on time, I just couldn't help myself.
ん仕掛けって俺用の
A trap for me? A trap for me? Sojiro tilted his head like a squirrel as Elko freely discussed the final ace up her sleeve. It's fun doing the head tilts with my VTuber model. Oh my
た
god!
の柱に着火型の
Nice.
ち
I
ょっとし
love
た
it.
魔術
I
式
love
を
it. I love it.
中
I'm
心の
going to
柱に点火することで連鎖的に他の柱に仕掛けた魔術も起動する。
Okay, just
I engraved an ignition formula into the support pillars in the basement. If I ignite the central pillar, it will start a chain reaction that will ignite the rest.
so we're pulling a Kiritsugu here. I love it. Like not exactly, just like alright, just blow it all up. Just blow it all up. I was like you expect this big complex plan, but no, just blow it all up. It works. It works.
No, I mean that's yeah, like that's
That-
yeah.
That was one of my favorite scenes
When in
in
doubt-
Zero, honestly.
When in doubt, when in doubt, knock it down.
Sometimes a big boom is all you need. Like actually, it's just
ジャミングを食らう前に作ったものだから直接魔力を叩き込めば一気にこういくわ。
I made it before that thing started jamming me. So, if I infuse it with a bit of magical energy, it'll go boom.
うん。
Sojiro was a little unsettled by how unclear that last bit was.
青崎、こうじゃわかる
Oh my god, he doesn't know
できる
anything
だ
about
け明
magic.
確に
I
どこまでが敵だったのか白状する
forgot.
No, no, no!
I want to
We
know how
don't
much.
know either! How big of an explosion is it?
Oh
Ariel?
my god, that's true.
How big of an explosion is it? How overkill was she going to go?
Oh, is she gonna just have like a mage nuke? Just
Was
like-
she gonna level the fucking park?
Was she gonna level the city?
Probably not.
I wonder
Just
how
like,
Sono-G's...
well, someone saw us in this city. Better nuke the whole thing just to be safe. Then the Mage Association will be happy.
Like, I kind of get the sense that, like, it's just enough to collapse it, because if you do too much, then people will get suspicious. But then this is also Alko Alzaki we're dealing with, so...
Yep.
It could be much bigger than that! Alzaki, could you, clarify? I want to know how much you were going to blow me up. Please be honest.
あと、もしかして俺、早まったか
Also, did I make a mistake agreeing to team up with you?
いや、そ
Did
の
I make a mistake
単
agreeing
な
to
る
team
保
up
険
with
っ
you?
ていうか
Don't be silly. It was just an insurance policy. Yeah.
Catastrophic coverage!
追いかけっこの途中であんたを見失ったらいっそ建物ごと爆破しちゃおうかなって
I just thought that if I lost sight of you at any point, I could blow the whole building and you with it.
Alko! Alko! Alko!
Oh my god, that's
God.
beautiful.
Look at her face! She's like... It was her policy to be thorough to the end, after all. She laughed in embarrassment, saying it out loud, though.
いくらなんでも徹底しすぎてる
And that's when he gets angry, is when she was gonna hurt the building.
Don't hurt the building! Don't you think that's overkill? Or don't you think that's overkill? Faced with Alko's cruelty, Sojiro forgot about the situation at hand and protested from the bottom of his heart. Yeah! Oh my god. My face hurts from smiling. To think I was like dumping my water on myself to stop myself from dissociating like 30 minutes ago. I love Nasu.
Stop complaining. At least now we have a way to fight back.
She shot back. Aoko dashed down the corridor, mumbling things that probably would have sent Sojiro packing if he heard them. The strategy was simple. Aoko would use the escape route to the right and avoid the puppet while making her way down to the basement. Upon reaching the central pillar, she would infuse the formula she had prepared with magical energy and escape. Once ignited, it would take about a minute for the chain reaction to spread throughout the whole house of mirrors, and then another minute for the building to collapse. She would be cutting it a little close, but because she had committed to the base to memory, she was sure she could make it out in time. Aoko assumed that the chain reaction caused by the pillar would clear the barrier that the puppet had placed at the entrance. And even if it was strong enough to withstand the blast, it would not be able to stay standing long once the foundations buckled. Sojiro's escape was Sojiro's escape was assured, as long as the formula in the basement was activated. Next came the most important part. The automaton was at a disadvantage in the obstacle-laden house of mirrors and was unable to move at full speed. If it was near the center of the second floor when the building collapsed, it would be caught up and crushed by it. So the problem was keeping the puppet on the second floor until Aoko could make it down to the basement. You know that 3 minutes is gonna be hell.
I'm counting on you,
Just.
Shizuki. I just need you to keep it occupied for 3 minutes.
So I swear, if he turns into a werebear here, I'm just gonna fucking... Ideally, he would be able to keep it busy until she could activate the formula. If that failed to work, him luring it down to the first floor would be the next best thing. She understood perfectly well the danger she was putting Sojiro in, but his lucky streak and running speed were nothing to scoff at. I mean, the thing is, like, turning trauma into, like, a weapon or inner world is something that is definitely not unprecedented in the Gnostiverse. All that fire and unlimited blade works.
Turning trauma into an inner weapon. Yeah, that's literally like most reality marbles, right?
It wouldn't surprise
It comes
me
from
at
a
all.
twisted worldview.
Why is the bear making more sense?
As long as all he has to do is run, then maybe, just maybe, he can actually pull this off.
Aoko made her way throughout the hidden passage of the maze, her hopes pinned on Sojiro. Meanwhile, well out of earshot, Sojiro was readying himself for another desperate chase. He calmed his beating heart using a method of his own making. What mattered most was that he remained calm. The plan was simple enough, and Aoko's orders were succinct and easy to understand.
10メートルぐらいの距離を保って、できるだけゆっくり通路を3、4周すること。
Keep a distance of around 30 feet, and leave through the corridors as slowly as you can 3 or 4 times.
横道は鏡のつなぎ目で覚えて。ここなら左回りで6、3、7、2枚目にあるから、そこをぐるぐる回ってれば比較的安全よ。
Count the mirrors as you move to locate the hidden passages. From here, they're on the 6th, 3rd, 7th, and 2nd mirrors counterclockwise. Use those, and you should be relatively safe.
It was essentially a looping marathon. As long as Sojiro maintained a distance of the puppet's extended arm, and just enough that she could continue to track him, she should continue chasing him indefinitely. Simple though the task was, Sojiro was putting his life on the line as bait. And then there was the final order to run as fast as he could to the exit when the building began to sway. God, the timing on this plan is so
かなりきついんじゃないかな。
low tolerance.
Yup.
This is more than just a little tough. Just wait till the building starts collapsing. He nervously stuck his head out from around the corner. He could hear the sound of the music box from the other side of the corridor. First, he had to make eye contact with it, then head through the shortcut on the right and begin their game of tag. He spotted it and braced himself. Closer, closer. Fearing that her arm could fly at him from any moment, he went over Aoko's instructions in his head.
あれ
Wait. However, he could... Every time those eyes appear, I know he's just gonna say something incredible. He could not quite remember which pain led him to the first hidden passage. The 3rd? The 6th? The 9th? That face.
Beautiful.
No. He was sure that it was mistaken. He was confident that he had it memorized moments ago, but his nerves had gotten the best of him, and his head was now spinning. Then, Sojiro realized that the sound of his pursuer was beginning to grow distant, and at an incredible speed. Oh no!
Full-on spider mode.
Cool! Spider Alco.
Jesus.
Wasn't in the cards for this, honestly.
Yeah.
I didn't think that was in the cards. What's it doing now? The unusual silhouette of the puppet astonished him. Before it had taken the form of a beautiful girl. But now, it made a bizarre transformation and returned to the first floor to pursue her primary target.
いや、それは。
Oh, this isn't the plan. This isn't the plan. Sojiro was no longer sure what to do. With not even the time to mourn his failure, the puppet had vanished out of sight. I'll be of some help. Just let me go. Or so he had said. But now he could not follow through.
さて、自分はこれからどうしよう。
So, what am I supposed to do now? Wow. Alone. He tilted his head in frustration. He spoke into the darkness, as if Aoko would be there to answer him. Oh no. That very moment, having arrived on the first floor, Aoko quickly understood what had transpired above her. She did not even have to strain her ears to hear the puppet. Even during its heyday, this attraction had never made sounds like the one she was hearing coming towards her now. It was the sound of despair, as if a horde of monsters, monstrous hedgehogs, were scraping their way past the mirrors in her direction. That is an interesting choice for the creature.
ドジ3分どころか10秒もたないってどういうことよ
Oh no!
Dits?
Dits.
10 minutes.
Dits.
It couldn't even last 10 seconds.
She called him a ditz. Rather than buying her time, Sojiro had in fact stolen hers. She dreamed of cursing him for failing to fulfill one job.
複数の足音ってことは2足から多脚に切り替えて
Wait, she knows? She knows about it? What?
Multiple simultaneous footsteps. So it switched from bipedal to its multi-leg form?
The echoes made it sound like the footsteps of dozens of feet. To Aoko, it sounded like a giant six-legged spider tearing its way down the corridor. Oh god, it really looks like the shadow in this, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Just that like red split glow. It was little wonder that it was so much faster than before. Its perception of its surroundings through echolocation was of particular use in the dark. Compared to sight-dependent humans, this automaton was by far better equipped to navigate its way through the labyrinth of mirrors. It could not keep pace earlier, or if it could not keep pace earlier, it was because its bipedal mode of movement was not up to the task. But the stability provided by multiple legs gave it speed that far exceeded that of any human. God, the one advantage they had, and it's gone now. Oh god, that's terrifying.
Yeah. What now? What now?
Her thoughts spun out as she tried to come up with a plan B. All she knew for sure was that this is a pivotal moment. If she continued standing still, she had seconds left at most. Even in her current state, she knew she could easily neutralize the bounded fields blocking the entrance without casting a spell. All she had to do was pour a little of her own energy into it. Aoko could sprint with all her might for a little more than 3 minutes. The puppet had far more stamina than she did. She could only come up with 3 options. The first was to escape through the exit in front of her. The second was to hide herself somewhere within the far more complicated first floor. And the third was to run into the basement and be stuck like a rat in a trap.
なんだ、考えるまでもない。
Well, that's obvious enough.
She made her decision with zero hesitation, moving her stiff legs again with determined strength. The oncoming storm was almost upon her. Resolve firm, she turned and ran, descending into darkness. No matter what, a finale should be glorious. This would be the Mirror Castle's final scene. 2 humans and a puppet. A young sorceress ran toward the subterranean heart of the castle, while an autonomous antique chased its prey into the depths of a demonic dungeon. A minute later, a faint blue charge would ripple through the castle.
It was obvious, wasn't it? In which direction she was gonna go.
Oh yeah, she's Aoko Ozaki. This is the main pillar in the deepest depths of the basement. The pillar itself was not there to support the castle structure, but it would serve nicely as a symbol into which the girl thrust her fist with all of her magical energy. If she had to go out, it would be on her own terms.
She put a timer on there.
Oh my god, that's incredible! This was the blow that
Floating
would bring down
fucking
the
magical
castle.
formulae is the coolest shit.
Isn't it? I mean, that's just way no. She imagined the scene as she threw the punch, a scene that would soon become reality. It was simple ignition magecraft, meant to release the condensed magical energy engraved into the 4 pillars that form the foundation of the structure. Using electricity as the switch meant virtually instantaneous activation. Oh! Right in front of him! Swift and elegant, a hammer of destruction descended upon the Castle of Dreams that had stubbornly resisted its fate for 2 years. It was almost a joyous sound, and so the lifeless and abandoned Castle of Mirrors set the stage for its final and most spectacular performance. Oko's magical energy became an electrical charge that activated the magecraft formula engraved into the pillar. The chain reaction would lead to the castle's destruction.
ご苦労様。
You served your purpose.
でも、思ってたよりくたびれてたのね。
She's talking to the
これじゃ
building. I
1分持
love
つか
it.
どうか。
Must have been rough. Looks like you're gonna collapse any time now.
Oh, wow. The plaza in the center of the basement. Aoko tried to steady her breathing while rotating her magic crest at full speed. She wreathed her arms in blue light, fully aware that she could no longer activate another formula. The last bit of magic. Oh, okay.
Well, she can't activate a formula, but she can just output.
Her labored breathing refused to settle. That's terrifying. She stood at the center of the basement. Without being spotted even once, she had managed to make it all the way to the central pillar. It was a 100-meter dash in 13 seconds flat. Undoubtedly a new personal best. She spurred on her weakened heart, knowing full well the fate that awaited her.
入れば追ってくる。地下に行けば逃げられない。
Aoko.
It can't be helped, but follow me.
Or it, rather, never, yeah, I fucked that up.
You just
Can't
wanted to
help
say
but
the
Follow
same.
me. And once down here, there'll be no escape.
当然よね。最後まで逃げ回ろうなんて虫のいい話だった。
Should have expected that. It's too much to expect that I could keep up the chase forever.
Hindsight was 2020. The castle was only a minute away from collapsing completely. If they stayed here, they would both be crushed by the rubble. The puppet certainly did not care. With no life of its own, its sole concern was the elimination of its target, Aoko Aosaki. Indeed, the enemy had been willing to die from the start. She resented her own lack of resolve. It wasn't like her to tuck tail and run from an opponent that didn't fear death.
Vivo in somno, solitare putresque inferis. Ictius meus obitus dies, et meus nativus dies. Te obeam.
In slumber I live, in dirt I rot. Today is the day I died and was born. Now I come to you.
そもそも自爆覚悟じゃないあれ。
It's always been on a suicide mission, huh?
六足歩行とフィンの一撃は使いすぎよ。もう呪詛による魔力補給じゃ間に合わない。
It doesn't have enough juice to power the six-legged form and the fin shots. The curses aren't recharging it fast enough.
So this form is unsustainable. Such a perpetual motion device was only as good as its ability to regulate its energy consumption. Using so many functions at once meant it was burning through fuel quickly and losing the ability to process the curses that powered it. It was using up all of the functions it had been given to achieve its aim. Limitless does not mean like unlimited output, right? At once.
Yep. That's a big thing in the Nasuverse.
That was like a thing in Heaven's Field too, wasn't it?
Yeah. Except that also it's not... That's a different kind of limitless, right? Like in Heaven's Field, it was pulling from infinity. In this, it's...
It's generating, but it has the same effect,
Spend
right?
1 mana to get 5 mana. Spend 3 mana, or spend 4 mana on other things. Spend 1 mana to get 5 mana. Spend 4 mana on other things. Ad infinitum.
This is the pride of a tool. If such things could have ego, those endowed with sentience could never hope to understand. A beast born to do nothing but run would burn away any human who faced its resolve.
ほんともったいない。
It's a waste when you think about it.
こういう無茶をするのは姉貴だけかと思ってたけど、いるところにはいるもんね。
Oh, Alco.
I thought my sister was the only one capable of
Alco.
something this reckless. But I guess I was wrong.
But Alco did not intend a sacrifice play here. She wouldn't. She respected her adversary now, and she was done regretting her choices. There was no time to waste.
行くわよ。ここできっかり。
This is it. This is it. This ends now.
Alco had every intention of paying it back double for what it had done to her. Oh, what is this song? What is this music? Listen to this.
I hear it. Oh, fuck yes.
Oh, it's so fucking good! The energy Alco had accumulated exploded out of her right leg. Look at her go! Look at her go!
Just operating on sheer output right now.
She's so cool! She's so cool! She aimed for a single thing, a head-on attack. She's so fucking cool! I love her. The enemy's response was a curse to crush her heart. A curse that would rend Aoko's heart and destroy itself in the process. As soon as she saw it, Aoko kicked the floor as hard as she could. Her long hair swirled through the air as she flipped aside. Oh god, look at this art here!
You can see it. You can see her hair swirling through the air.
She's so fucking cool! This lateral move... Sorry. Alright, narration versus narration. This lateral move almost sent her tumbling to the ground, but a quick swing of her arm allowed her to regain her balance. A shot grazed her arm, with the curse scorching her left shoulder. She did not flinch. Aoko knew she could hold on, as long as she continued to avoid a direct fin shot.
Snap.
I love the way they split the screen like that. It's so cool.
Yeah.
It's so fucking cool. My brain just jumping up and down on my chair from how much I'm talking.
Oh, fucking. She fucking parried it. She fucking parried it.
Off balance and in pain, it took her half a second to recover. It was so cool. The moment she raised her head, she deflected the attack with a fistful of magical energy.
Here goes.
If the puppet had a will of its own, its eyes would have popped right out of its sockets. It would have been floored. Shocked at the strong will that allowed this girl to perform a series of moves like this.
Crack.
Aoko has willpower!
Yup.
I think that's another big thing with her, huh?
Yup.
Agency, willpower, it all goes together. Aoko's response was instantaneous. With her power not sufficient to completely direct... While her power is not sufficient to completely redirect the arm's trajectory, it was just enough to deflect it harmlessly past her hair.
It was all a mistake. I should never have been born. Atone for me. Atone for me. Atone for me.
The chant became a curse that robbed Aoko of her vitality. Did it still have something left in the tank? Or was it actually indignant? Whatever the reasoning, Aoko was easily able to resist its weak and defensive maneuver. Come on, Aoko!
Is she fucking kicking it?
Yes! She kicked it! She kicked it! There's just something amazing about
Glider!
a kick being thrown in a mage fight.
Yup.
It's just like that scene where Reen just kicked Caster. It's so good!
Punched. Reen punched 3 times.
Aoko kicks! And her right leg, pulsing with magical energy, shot up into the puppet's chest from below. Oh, that sprite is so fucking good! Yeah, no, the comparison is definitely there. It was much lighter than Aoko anticipated. Or rather, she felt little resistance. Also reversal! It's there! Like, it's not, like, going full into it, but it's like... It was much later than Aoko anticipated.
Yeah, it's just...
They're talking about
it's not even
not her kick.
necessarily Nasu reversals. I wouldn't describe it as. I would just describe it as...
It's a similar
incomplete
concept.
knowledge bases.
But yes.
It's just the fact that these characters don't understand the worlds around them completely.
And
and there's
Officer does such a
always
good job
little
portraying that.
things that they learn. There's always something new that they're experiencing.
I love this and I love you!
Love you.
The automaton's weight was determined by its internals, the size of its power source. Ironically, it was the superiority of its music box engine that would prove to be its downfall.
Venite, venite, venite. Meum sepulchrum, venite.
That image is haunting. Oh.
Welcome. Welcome. Welcome to my grave.
A stuttering curse. Having taken the full brunt of Alco's kick, the puppet bounced from the ceiling to floor, collapsing in a heap. Its internal construction had been warped by the impact, leaving the drum of the music box that powered the puppet warped as well.
恨むなら設計者を恨みなさい。
Take your design flaws up with your maker.
ダイナモの一つでも積んでいれば、もうちょっとは重たくなったでしょうに。
She's ruthless!
A single dynamo would have been all you needed to... Wait, what the...
I heard that echo in my room, by the way. Part of the ceiling came crashing down in front of Alco, snapping her back to her senses.
ところで
No time for trash
ど
talk!
うやってぶっ倒したんだ
Did I really just take her out?
She was so stunned by her own victory that she forgot that the House of Mirrors had already begun to collapse.
こっちの方がやばかった
I mean... I've gotta get out of here! I've gotta get out of here! Wait, the thing is that the puppet... As far as I understand, right? That puppet basically just... It just killed it, right? It was dead from the moment it, like, decided to run past Sojo and chase her down in its, like, speed form.
I think it... Maybe. There was no time to
Because it
relish
was, yeah, it was,
Huh?
it was prioritizing killing her over continuing its, like, continuous, curses. Right? It was, prioritizing
yeah.
killing her over sustaining itself. So, it went out on a limb. It whiffed and she punished. Fighting game terminology.
I love Alco. There was no time to relish in her victory or pity her opponent. Not unless she wanted to meet the same fate. As the situation stood, she found it hard to imagine getting out alive.
急げダッシュだ私
Go, Alco, go!
Move on, Alco!
Damn it. She slapped herself on the cheek and took off. You know, only do actions and not reactions.
Yeah, but by that same measure, like, to reach her, it had to...
Is it
It
weird?
had to change up what it was doing.
Is it weird that this has given me many tabletop ideas, by the way? I feel inspired again in many ways.
That,
On
and
all
I mean, she
angles.
also stated straight out that it couldn't sustain both, like, a fin
it's-
shot and its, like,
Like, I think it would
a
have...
hexapedal form. That it had to... And, like, it did shoot a fin shot at her.
This
so,
is her
like,
bound.
it was already, like, breaking itself, trying to go for the fucking, It was performing unsustainable actions, trying to go for the fucking, kill.
This is her bounty for finishing their battle in a matter of seconds. With her breathing labored by all excitement, she ran for the exit. Go, go, go. Ow. Ow, go, Alco! I'm sorry.
And then she just dies here.
And it would have been my fault for that horrible pun. The collapse was intensifying by the second. Having lost its support pillars, the castle was buckling under its own weight.
Out of my way! Out of my way! Nope.
Oh, that's so...
Whatever.
That animation is so smooth!
Out of my way.
Look at that! That was so smooth!
Yup.
That was so fucking smooth! Holy shit! Escaping from the basement was proving to be no easy task. While she was taking the shortest route possible through the maze, she was nearly crushed by a falling piece of the ceiling along the way. This was the second time, no third, she had to deal with fallen rubble along the way. She destroyed the debris on the stairs with magic bullets as she ran. The automaton's jamming had long since worn off. The earlier attack had damaged the vast majority of its functions. Here we go! The big boom!
Ah, the big bang attack.
God. That dashing sprite is so fucking cool!
Yup.
No, wrong button. Look at that. Her breathing was as heavy as she ran. Her breathing was heavy as she ran. The intensity surrounding her sparked her brain into overdrive. Oh, you can see her, like, her double, like, that's so cool.
Yup.
This is so
No,
cool.
she left her double
Nasu!
downstairs.
Nasu's Nasu's the best. And it's not even close. The ceiling seemed to be collapsing in slow motion. For a second, for her, a second felt like 5. Her frayed nerves made it hard to read time correctly. As her life seemed to flash before her very eyes, a light at the end of the tunnel. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Nothing is certain in Nasu's writing! Nothing is certain! There was debris riddled throughout the stairway, forcing her to crawl up it. She emerged from the destroyed basement into the collapsing first floor. That plaza was still traversable. That the plaza was still traversable at all was a miracle in itself. Unfortunately for her, the crucial path to the exit was still intact. Oh, go, quickly!
I made it.
The corridor to the entrance was still intact. The basement maze only extended as far as the plaza, so the entrance corridor wouldn't collapse. Only the ceiling would cave in, leaving the scaffolding surrounded intact.
Ooh. Is that sparking cables?
I think so. She got herself this far by telling herself repeatedly that fate would decide whether or not she reached the plaza. These backgrounds have like such good emotion on them, don't they?
Yup.
Like all the blurs are in just the right places. Her gamble paid off. It was her lucky day. All she had to do was muster the last of her strength and keep moving forward until... That M dash is great, by the way. She hesitated for a fraction of a second. Was it naivete? A sense of responsibility? She pushed aside the image that popped into her head and continued running down the corridor.
We don't have the luxury of coordinating the timing with each other to pull this off. It's not the greatest plan in the world, but we both need to do our parts and get to the exit as quickly as possible.
That was 5 minutes ago. At the time, Sojiro had nodded with trepidation. Aoko had not bothered to ask herself why.
What are you thinking, Aoko? Just focus on running.
This corridor was giving out too. As she grew to look back, she was sure that she would see the building collapsing unknown her. She was also sure that she had no time to waste in doing so. Her luck was fading as fast as the building's structural integrity. It was a small miracle that she had escaped serious injury up to this point, and she could not afford even the slightest slip-up. An ankle sprain, loss of balance, or even a sneeze would be fatal. A simple pat on the back was enough to end it all. So, naturally... Oh no! Oh no! Look, it's on the fucking reflection, by the way! It's on the reflection! That's...
Yup.
This is more beautiful than most anime. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
Like the motion even
That's
is
because
better
they
than most
actually
anime.
take... It's
This is
because of the way it's set
masterful.
up.
This is masterful. There it was, clear as day. From the detours of the stairway, death had arisen to take her down with it. A corpse that had crawled its way up from the depths of hell itself. It was still operational. Oh, that noise, that noise. That fucking eye.
Yeah.
It shows. Wait, still. It was still armed with curses. It had crawled after her, watching as Oko desperately tried to save herself. This picture kind of reminds me of someone's art that we know.
Yup.
So fucking good. Puppet's arm shot forward. Oh, my heart. Well, Alko did not turn to meet it. She could see its reflection in the mirrors.
E salvato, e salvato, e salvato, e salvato.
Il salvato, il salvato, il salvatio, il salvatio.
Extend, extend, extend. This time, she could not dodge it. There was absolutely nothing she could do. The puppet with her face sang.
Venit Domum meum.
I invite you
Lux senesum meum.
to die a muddy death.
Et pulvere simile quotidiano.
The darkening.
Become as whispering dust.
Cor credo.
Gouge out your
These
heart.
are words.
Gouge
Te
out
iudi.
your heart. Death be upon you.
Alko!
What?
Come on, please let that be Sejiro, save me. For a moment, she could not believe her eyes. This was the last thing she expected to see.
Where there's Sojiro.
No way. Is that a fire extinguisher?
That's a fire extinguisher.
It's a fire extinguisher! Don't know when to give up, do you? A fierce expression adorned the face of the boy who had been waiting in the plaza as he smashed the puppet's outstretched arm. Anger really did not suit him at all. His weapon of choice was a fire extinguisher. He must have searched the maze for something to use as a weapon. No, never mind that. It was too crazy to contemplate, but had he stayed behind for her? Oh, her face. Shizuki! I love them!
Shizuki!
I love them so fucking much! I love them! I'm crying, I'm so happy! Aoko stops. The feet she had sworn to herself would never stop moving, and extended a hand out to him.
そんなのほっといていいから早く
That's enough! Leave! Or leave it! We have to go!
Sojiro tossed the fire extinguisher aside and took off running. Pieces of ceiling continued to collapse like dominoes. They kept moving with the dust and dirt following in their wake. Their shadows raced through the collapsing corridor with all their strength. The castle was in the throes of death. With a massive crash and a cloud of dust, the final chapter of the fairy tale that had been Kitsy Land came to an abrupt end. Holy shit! Wow!
Whew.
This duel to the death was over. For a moment, amidst their swirling emotions, all past enmity was left behind, and the two collapsed on the lawn and basked in a strange solidarity. There's that word enmity again. I haven't heard
Yep.
that outside of Nasu Works. The ringing in their ears subsided long before.
Before long.
Or before long. A tremor of such magnitude seemed impossible in an amusement park like this. As the sounds of destruction echoed across the park, Aoko addressed the individual at her side.
ねえ生きてる
Hey. You alive?
God, the whole thing was so fucking good. Wasn't it?
Yup.
What the fuck?
Well, yeah. It's Nasu.
My heart
Did you forget-
refuses to calm down. My heart refuses to slow down.
I think you forgot.
I mean, I didn't forget, but it's just been so long since I experienced any new Nasu works. I forgot what peak fiction felt like for a second, experiencing it for the first time anyway.
Yeah.
うん
Yeah,
チェ
yeah. While the click of her tongue was adorable, the meaning behind it was anything but.
青崎あいつどうなった
Aosaki,
It's you.
what happened to that thing?
見ての通りよ今頃バラバラ死体になってるんじゃない
What do you think? It was crushed to bits. Definitely. Because it was dead the last time you thought it was dead, too.
Sojiro sighed. Sorry, I just thought about the weird thing again. It's so stupid. Sojiro sighed. Like, I just imagined, like, a bear, but with that expression. Like like the flat eyes.
Yeah.
I just thought it looked adorable. Sojiro sighed, not wholly relieved by her frank response. His reason?
でもそんな心配より自分の心配をした方がいいと思うわよ
His reason.
しずきくん
Never mind that thing. You should be worrying about yourself.
He wasn't out of the woods yet, after all.
青崎子供の頃はいじめっ子だっただろ
Oh my god! Aosaki, I'm guessing you were a bit of a bully as a kid.
可逆趣味はないって自負してるけど。
Maybe. But I don't get a kick out of seeing people suffer.
それで今の自分の立場分かってる？
Never mind that. You know the situation you're in right now?
There's that face again.
You enjoy
She's
mocking her?
She sat up and smiled. Sojiro hung his head in shame, wondering why her kind tone and expression were so chilling.
面目次第もございません。
Please accept my sincerest apologies.
かしこまってもダメよ。あの提案には大前提があったわよね。これは取引だって。あなたが役に立つのなら見逃してあげるっていう。
Oh yeah, because he didn't keep it busy. He didn't.
For 3 minutes.
Elko?
Oh no. Don't you even start. You know what our agreement was. And a deal is a deal. If you held up your end of the bargain, I'd let you go.
わかってる。だから面目ないって言ってるだろ。
Exactly. And that's why I'm apologizing. Sojiro made a show of avoiding her eyes. Like a pouting child. Oh. I felt something inside my core when that first note played. Aoko was taken aback by the sulky display. It's like a string inside me was cut and just all this tension was just let go. Perhaps he was angry at himself rather than her. He was not mad because she would not let him go. He was mad that he had not done his part. Aoko sighed for what seemed like the millionth time that day. She could not figure out what surprised her more, his unconditional kindness or naive approval of it.
じゃあ
Her
覚悟は
naive
できてる
approval
の？
of it. So, are you ready?
Why is every Nasu character relatable? I love you.
I love you.
そんなのはできないけど、約束だからな。結局は何もしていないし。
Of course not. But a promise is a promise. In the end, I failed to do my part. It was certainly the case that he failed to do any of the things she had expected of him. But just then, she glanced back at the collapsed house of mirrors. What had he done after his failing so spectacularly? He had searched for the extinguisher so he could use it as a weapon, and waited patiently in the plaza as the maze collapsed all around him, because he thought it was wrong of him to leave alone. It was a foolish choice, and the exact opposite of her choice to run towards the exit without hesitation.
ま、それでよしとするか。
I suppose I'll take it.
She was satisfied, even as she was shocked at how naive he was being.
She was being.
She was being. Wait, it's like I'm processing the line normally, but my brain is just braining. when actually reading it out.
Yeah.
It's weird. I don't know why that happens. Like, I switch words too, but my brain doesn't switch them when I process it.
Because I switch words, but when processing it, my brain does switch the words.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Very.
It was true that
Yeah.
he had saved. It is true that he had saved her. She smiled inwardly, admiring, if only for a moment, the bravery he would continue to show in the face of such extreme circumstances. I think because in my brain, like, there are two separate processes of reading it aloud and reading it to myself. So
That
they
makes a
don't
lot of
interfere with
sense.
each other.
役割は果たさなかったけど、アフターケアは合格だし、約束は守らなくちゃね。
You may have blown your chance, but you did make up for it after the fact. I'll keep my promise.
With a nod, she pulled herself to her feet.
約束は、いつか守ってもらうとして。
But you'll pay back this favor someday.
The girl tried to keep a straight face as she offered a hand to the boy still lying on the
結
ground.
果はどうあれ手助けしてもらったし、
You managed to help me in the end.
特別サービスってことで、今夜はもう手を出さないであげる。
So, because of that, I'll let you off the hook. For tonight.
ん
That fucking scream. She bashfully averted her gaze. Oh, the little blush. The little
Oh
blush.
no, he's hot.
Why does your Squidward sound like your Toby Mario?
I don't know what you mean.
Like, it's very slight, but it's the same.
Yeah, it's the nasaliness.
Yeah.
It's just a lower pitched birdly.
Though her profile appeared different than it had in the past, it was clearly still the face of the vibrant girl he met the first day he arrived in town. The day he was in town.
何？
These two are so fucking adorable.
What are you staring at? What are you staring at?
As if she had felt his eyes on her, she shot him a frowning glare.
いや、突拍子もないけど、青崎は律儀だなって。
Oh, sorry. It's just as crazy as it is to say aloud. You really are a fair person, Aosaki. He took her outstretched hand. Feeling his weight as she pulled him up, she could not help but think that he was about the last person she wanted to hear that from.
ところで、今夜はって言うけど、明日からは
By the
thought-
way... No, it's you. That's you. Fuck.
By the way, you said you'd let me off the hook for tonight. What about tomorrow?
さあ、
What
そ
about
の時に
tomorrow?
なったら考えるわ。
Well... We'll just have to see.
She shrugged her shoulders, as if she was not sure herself. The response was so unlike her that it made Sojiro smile. Was it the solidarity of having escaped death together? Or their fleeting camaraderie that made him do so? It might have been for this night only, but the air between them was kind and gentle. Aww. A lot had transpired, but the midwinter nightmare had come to an end. The pair had overcome so many trials and tribulations and could now leave the mirror realm in their wake. But before that...
随分と身勝手ね。
Oh, here we go.
That's you.
Wait. How selfish of you.
それはあなた一人で決めていいことだったかしら、青子。
She's here. And who, may I ask, said you could decide that, Elka? Oh no. Oh no! What is that? Oh no. I did! I did! I
On
put my
Discord,
body
you're
in
getting
calm mode,
completely
and
cut
I was
out.
not ready! I was not ready! Holy fucking shit! It was the voice of a beautiful singing bird and a merciless machine all rolled into one. Nasu!
Yeah, Nasu.
Nasu!
アリス
Alice?
Alice.
I did not expect this! What the fuck, Nasu? Her voice quivered as she spoke the name. Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. She's so cool. The lady in black made her presence known. The night was not over. Was not yet over.
Not yet over.
Her name was Alice Kunoji.
Kuwanji.
Kwanji. She was a witch whose name
Kuwanji.
struck fear into the heart of Alka. An avatar of the night who would allow no witness. Okay!
Whew!
Okay! Well,
God.
not my faith. My trust, not my faith. Okay, save.
Save,
This
and
is-
then
And we had our first big
I want you
two-parter on
to.
YouTube.
I want you to look. I
Huh?
want you to go to archive
Archive? Is there an archive?
because I need you to see.
It's just one big book.
That was one scene, right? Yeah, I needed to see.
By the way, I love having all the scenes as books. That's incredible.
Yeah,
The theming here is so good.
and you can see how far in we are.
Oh my god. We're approaching the halfway point? What?
Mm-hmm. We're about a third of the way in.
That's
A
insane.
little under a third. Yeah.
God. I love Mihoyo. I love Mihoyo so much. So yeah, this one is probably getting split into two parts for you too. Maybe not. Because we hit almost 5.5 hours.
Yeah. Holy shit.
I'm lost for words. Alright, let's take us here. I need to find suitable like music for this screen here. Cause the starting music doesn't really work here. Holy fucking shit, that was so
Maybe
good.
take the starting track and then just
Remove some intensity.
I was gonna say just remove the like melody and just leave the underlying like low notes.
Seriously, that was so good. That was so
Yep.
good. I have my brain is my brain has been blown out of the water right now.
Yep.
My brain has just been like my brain has been hit with a gander shot of good writing.
Oh, I'm trying to go a day without my Adderall here because I finally got a chance. And like yeah, good. Good.
It's so fucking good. Like, it's hard to talk about scenes like this right after they happen. Because, like, usually I let the scenes kind of go through a second pass in my brain after we're done with them, but with that one, it's just so much. And right now it's hard to say things other than just, like, the composition, incredible. The effects, incredible. The, like, switching tones, but still kind of carrying a tone throughout the whole thing, incredible. In the horror, I had to splash water in myself, so that's a thing. Wait,
Yeah.
are we entering God Week? God Week! God Week! Alright, God Week is happening next week. Let's go! It's God Week!
No, that's not what Pars said exactly. Just that next week is gonna be crazy. That's not saying that it's going to be better than the week after that, you know?
Wait, is it just escalating God Weeks from here on out? Because I'm all here for that. What was that?
Yeah.
Did I just, like, sing one of my sentences?
You did. It was cute.
It was really cute.
I love you.
I love you.
I love you.
What?
Oh, I've shut down your brain. Are you just thinking of that time that Aoko did a flip over the puppet and her hair swirled in the air?
That was so cool! That was so cool! Seriously, the sprite magic was incredible. I'm going to, like, we're obviously going to watch the anime. I don't think it will look as good as this. I mean, Soil said
No
as much,
shot.
right? From, like,
No shot it looks as
previews.
good at this. Even if, like, they, like, fucking, even if they studio mapped, like, every single one of the most talented animators on Earth for, like, a year, like, it's just a completely different, experience.
I am very Mihoyo-brained myself. And you know what? I did some of my best writing after HA. And it, like, was very similar to it. I'm probably gonna... I'm
Yeah.
feeling it again. I'm feeling it again, you know? I'm feeling it again.
Alright. You know what I'm feeling?
What?
Hungry.
We should probably
I could
get
eat a
some
whole...
food.
Well... Insert whatever joke you want here.
What the fuck?
You okay?
Yeah. It's a... Wait, I missed things? Oh, you...
No,
yeah, no,
Pars missed.
second
I mean, we probably
read-throughs are
missed,
great.
too.
Second read-throughs are great. Reading Fate Stay Night again
'Cause, like,
by watching a Let's Play of it has been incredible.
Yeah, like I
By the
for
way-
instance, having some spoilers, noticed a couple of things.
What is it? What is it? Oh god.
Why?
Oh, god.
Why do you think I would tell you?
Tell me now! But yeah, I've been watching a Fate Stay Night Let's Play, and there's so many things on the second, like, and it's not even a full read through because I'm listening to it a lot of the time. I'm really excited to give it an actual second read through, and you better believe that we're doing another read through of Fate Stay Night when the original, the official translation comes out.
Okay, you say that, but like, I don't know if we want to like throw ourselves into so much of that for another year. I think that honestly,
might be
we should take it at our own paces outside of things and just like tweet about it or whatever.
It might. Well, I think we might do it off. We'll probably do it off stream, but we'll talk about it. You know, we'll talk about it.
Yeah,
We'll
we'll
say
talk
things
about it
about it.
definitely. I just like
We can roll
It's-
it in.
so much. We have so much on our plates, and I want to get to so many new things. And
That's
like,
true, that's
Fate
true.
is the most important thing in my life, and I need to reread it. But like, I can't
That's true,
reread
that's
it
true.
at like a set pace. You know?
Yeah, doing it on stream would be really, really hard. I want to. There's another thing that I don't want to announce because I don't even know if we're doing it. But like, if we do, I think it would roll really well into that.
Restarting our Terraria Calamity playthrough now that you've seen Art of Calamitous.
She's really cool. She's really cool. Yeah, we're doing Tsukihime after this,
Yep.
right? Maybe,
Nope.
probably.
After
Or
this is Fate Extra, I think.
Oh right,
then
yeah,
Suki?
Fate Extra, and then Suki.
No, you know what? Probably I don't know. Like maybe we do it differently. I think we're tentatively saying Fate Extra, and then Suki will probably be YouTube uploads only.
Yeah, we'll see. It's hard to plan things out. There's a lot that needs to go into it.
Wait. Oh right, because there's like a fuck ton of routes. Right.
Oh yeah, but they're like all smaller, right? They're a lot smaller.
They're all smaller routes than Fate Stay Night routes.
Fate
but, like,
has massive routes. Because
yeah.
I think I've talked about before that I'm writing my own visual novel. Sorry, don't have much for you in terms of updates. But Blake, Fate is really atypical on how long it is. Like in the routes are. Because I was looking at how long I should be making my stuff. Fate Stay Night is the Bible.
Well, yes, Fate
confirmed!
Stay Night does have as much text as Fate Stay Night.
Like, this Fate has just helped us through so many personal problems, and it's incredible. It's just... Oh, fuck. Nasu's writing is... It like, resonates with me in ways that nothing else really has. It just feels right to read, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It flows. Oh, by the way, I noticed my like ability to read text and not fuck it up in the middle of that got like way better. Because I think those two processes in my brain synced up fully. Because like at the start and like when things wind down in streams, I notice it's worse.
Yeah.
But in the middle, it was like way less bad.
But yeah, we should probably wrap up here.
I guess
Just
some
because
food.
I'm getting super hungry. Yeah.
Alright, so Mihoyo. Wednesdays, Thursdays, 7 p.m. Central Time. Twitch.tv/ArucanaVT. It's happening. It's happening. We're back. We're back. We're so fucking back!
Hey. I know this is kind of sudden, but you know, stream later today.
What?
Like 6 a.m.
Sure. What do you want to stream?
Calamity.
You know what? Sure. Tentatively, yes.
All right, we're gonna try and stream later today too, 6 a.m.
Poggers.
And we can try and keep that time slot ish going forward too, because that's or not, 6:30 a.m.
Yep, not guaranteeing anything, but yeah. We'll put out a schedule soon now that Kyo is not working literally every day.
Yep. Although, also just announcing that in like a month, I'm picking up some extra like shifts running security for Minneapolis Pride, so I'm gonna be out for like another week practically.
We should like announce that in advance so people know.
Yeah. I'm putting that out there right now.
We're working right now on just getting a schedule together and sticking to it, and we will get there eventually. But
Yep.
Thank you for
Sorry,
being
I got
patient.
Adderall, and it let me start fixing all of the other problems in my life. So like,
Wait,
apparently,
is it
yeah.
a week? Is it a week?
I think it's like a week and a half, yeah.
I love you so much. I kind of want to go
Love
and
you.
be there with you.
Oh, fun thing.
Yeah.
There are overnight shifts, so I'll be taking overnight.
Oh.
I have no idea how the fuck that's gonna work.
Also, it's just good to have like guards there that like understand and
Yeah.
I love you so much. I just want to hug you.
You. And we can do that in a little bit.
But yeah, Have a good night, everyone. This has been a
I've been
incredible
twitch.tv
stream.
/themacule. I swear to God, I will be coming back sometime soon.
And yes, Nasu is the best writer ever. Have a good night, everyone. For us, anyway. Have a good night,
Good
everyone.
night.
Bye-bye.
Good life.
See you in a little less than a week.